This is all made for the sake of comedy and poor sophomoric taste. The skits are parodies, and any similarity to real people or stories is purely coincidental. Any insults hurled at any one human is made in jest. We're just covering our bases for when one of you skins your knee on an internet insult. We love you. Again, this is all a joke, whether you laugh or not. Not just the show, but this waking existence. The great cosmic giggle. Try not to take it seriously.
But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can be seen? Baby, I can bear you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. Now that your roses in bloom, a light hits the room on the grave.
Should you ever be confronted with the temptation of taking that first puff of a marijuana cigarette, don't do it.
I don't know about you, but as for me, the question has already been answered. Should we be here? Yes.
The business of culture, any culture, is to perpetuate its cultural models. And if the hallucinogenic plants have not been integrated into the cultural model, then they are definitely seen as dangerous forces for an unpredictable sort of social change.
Sorry, everybody. I'm sorry, everybody. We just got taken off the air. We just got taken off the air. That is true. We just got shut down. I don't know. The power went off. The entire power went out in the entire building. Dennison, have you ever seen anything like that before in your life? I've never seen. Check the Instagram feed. Check all the feeds right now. I don't know what's happening. Craig came in here. He'd been gone for a while. He went on a walkabout. He ate some mushrooms. He went, I don't know where he went. He said he felt like he was at the Capitol building. We've seen crazier things happen, man. This is crazy. Okay, so I don't know where he went. The lights went down. He disappeared. And now we're left here to guys. I heard a bunch of people in here coming in. He was fighting. I heard him run away. I don't know, man.
Say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
To Caillou as parents rejoice.
Oh, he's back.
Go out of my room.
What's
That's
happening?
mine.
What is that
I
noise?
want to.
What is
Go
that?
away.
It's
What is that-
Caillou
what is that
himself
noise?
who's going. Canceled by PBS after 20 years of shows and reruns.
There is an ad playing. There's an ad playing or something. What is happening here?
It's the Dutch guy with the big dick.
What is happening in there? There's another audio. There's audio playing through here.
Freaking out right
What's
now.
happening?
What
Was
is
that Craig?
happening to this?
Was that Craig that just came in here? I swear
my
to the
God.
Lord, you shave your face into one goatee. It's gone now. It's gone now. What?
I turned into an Amish person.
Well, you did, man. I gotta go. We're looking good. We're looking good for the revolution. The revolution is here. I guess that means the revolution is here. That was Craig. He was back. He stole the Declaration of Independence. So that's cool.
I don't even know what to think about this.
Okay. So weed.
I guess I'm gonna have to just fill in
well,
indefinitely, but
We'll go on with the show. So we built a new studio. What do you think?
yeah, this is really nice. It looks like you come into a studio when you think of a studio. It's
Thank you.
fucking beautiful. You guys
Yeah.
have all the accents that you need. And
I mean, we got a bunch of monitors and screens and stuff in there. Seth's back there. Mike, I don't know if we want to say hi to them. I don't know. Everything sounds good. I'm getting a lot of thumbs up back there. It still seems like we might be a little low on there, but that's okay. I get louder.
I think you sound
Oh,
fantastic,
I sound
Steve.
so great. Sounds so great. If you guys have something wrong,
Okay.
I got it. They're looking for a guy in a horn and a mask right now. I got the Declaration.
you was real.
It was real. I got it. It was real.
I'm gonna touch it.
Okay, hide the evidence.
Okay, get rid of it. So weed. It's him. Did he storm the Capitol? I think so. Still a smoke show, says Tinksy. Is that native hemp Dennison? It is.
That's me.
People are confused. He did. The Restream bot says he did at the tell the Restream bot that. Yeah, guys, welcome to the Hoosier Sophisticate show on Monday night, because everyone knows Mondays are for the Hoosiers.
The Hoosiers.
Maptha. We're here. We have Dennison from Native Hemp to help us break down what's going on in the world today. He's going to pretty much explain it all. And then we got Mike and Seth on the ones and twos. They're in a room. We got Jason back there, too. I don't know if they want to show us on the
Hello,
screen.
guys. We got a nice little cockpit in here now. This is mission control back here. Yeah. If I can get Dennison to talk directly into his mic, that'd be cool.
I'm
Thanks,
just a
but-
simple farmer.
Oh, dude. You got a very buttery voice, though. You're perfect.
They're going to think it's Makate.
butter.
They're going to
I
think
like
it's Makate.
I think I'm Makate. Whenever I hear him, I'm like, why am I talking? And what am I talking about? Because it sounds more advanced than me.
Get out of here. I would
I
love
do
to have
that.
you two guys in a room together, just all
Good
oiled up.
evening,
Buttered up.
ladies, gentlemen, non-binary, sentient, artificial intelligence, flora and fauna alike, to the Hoosier Sophisticate morning show, primetime show.
Come on, guy. Where are you? Are you still, where are you at? You don't even know what day it is.
Reconditioning.
Hit him again with it. Patriotism. Thank you.
Patriotism. That's my favorite.
It's my favorite
There's a lot
thing
of
in the world.
there's a lot of patriotism going on right now. It's running rampant. Man, are the
People probably
Patriots?
want
The
to hear us
Patriots?
cover it.
Yeah,
days
hell yeah, let's
afterwards.
cover it.
People want to hear us cover it days after.
I can't get enough of this juice harp.
Juice?
Juice harp.
Is that what it is?
It's a lot of different harps. It's a mouth harp. It's a jaw harp. It's a juice harp. It's a juice harp.
Oh, juice harp. Okay. Okay. Well, guys, welcome
I just figured
to
whenever we talk about boners, like, you know. Ah, fuck it. All day long. All goddamn day long.
A little performance anxiety, huh?
No, it's just my teeth.
What's wrong with
It's
your
my teeth pulling their
Did
bullshit.
your teeth change?
They're my teeth pulling their bullshit.
And your teeth, you're always like, come on, teeth,
These teeth are always
do your
on one.
job.
What are we doing tonight?
We
Listen.
set up the audio in the new studio. If you
Yes,
haven't
we'll
been,
probably be taking
if you
a
haven't been to
minute tomorrow.
Festus, if you haven't been to Festus, you got problems. So come on out to Festus and see us. We're gonna have a good time. I mean, did you see Craig was shirtless? His nipple rings were out. He was in a sarong or like a serape thing. He had a devil mask on.
Nice.
Did we have fun all day today or what?
I always have
Setting
fun.
this up?
Now that we're, I don't even.
What are we? What
we're
are the
building
plans?
the next Abbey Road, Jack.
What are the plans?
We're
here?
building the next Abbey Road.
You want to do it?
I want to do it.
Let's do it. I'm
Let's do it.
ready. I'm ready.
We
Hey
want to
guys,
start recording music here. We want to just start getting. I mean, we got a mad scientist running the show around here.
that's what I call him, dude.
He's a mad scientist. You need something done, he's got the equipment, or he's gonna go get the equipment and make it happen.
It's so weird. I'm like, I need this little plug that changes it from a TRS to a TRRS, but it's also like a 3/4 inch. And he's like, oh yeah, hold on, digging through this thing. And he's like, here, I got 3. I'm like, what? How? What happened?
What have you been doing with all that, bud?
What is that? You got a toolbox full
What
of
have you
that
been
shit?
doing with that stuff, bud?
God dang. So we got it almost all set up here. You can see we got a whole band set up in the back. What we want to do is make dreams come true here, okay? You want to create some art? You want to come in here and produce a show or do whatever you want? Get weird on the green screen? You want to do any of that? Do you? Guys? Well, you can. Guess what? The Hoosiers are bringing it to you because you can come out here and fest this and get weird. Just don't steal our butt plugs.
Yeah,
I'm going to put this on blast right now. Weird thing happened this weekend. We allow a lot of people to come to the back of the studio and I'll say, check it out. Well, then this older gentleman came in here and he was like, oh, yeah. I was like, check out the studio, man. I knew he was cool. Well, then a couple of just freaky freak shows came in and they're like, I got a bunch of money. I'm going to spend money. Just don't worry. I'm going to spend money. And I'm like, and I've been robbed before in this place. Like someone stole something. And I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, I had a pipe sitting up on the thing and someone ganked it, I guess. When I'm just
that's
chatting
hurting,
up.
man.
I know. So I'm like, ooh, I'm never going to let it happen again.
Yeah.
So then this red-haired lady, if you see a red-haired lady with a butt plug in her butt, let us know because she stole ours most
It's
likely.
a clear one, so you
It's
could
a
probably
clear,
get
it's about this
you can
big.
probably get a pretty intimate view internally too. Since it's
Oh,
clear.
sure.
Magnified.
You're gonna
It's a
see.
bit magnified.
You're gonna see who she really is
Oh,
on the inside.
what she eats,
What she's made out of.
what she's made of.
So she comes in. The older gentleman comes down the hallway. He's like, pretty cool little deal. And he comes back out. Well, she's like, you got stuff down there? I'm like, yeah, go ahead and check it out. So she goes back here, and Jason's like, hey, what's going on? And he's all, I'm trying to sell her stuff. And he's like, no, don't buy that. It's a piece of garbage. You can do this. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing here, whatever. So then she was in here. He came back here to check on her. She takes off this way out of the room. And he's like, wait, that's weird. He takes off this way out of the room. And so I'm like, whoa, this way? Sorry. And so we're doing a bunch, and he comes back and he's like, man, that's sketchy. She had to take something because then she came back, bought like 2 little things, and then left. And I'm like, okay. So we're sitting here, we're eating something, and I see him. I don't know if he knows this part of it, but Jenny and I and Ivan are all here, and we're all sitting there kind of having a meal, and we're like, yeah. And I see Jason just going, oh. And he's like, I think he's just like kind of wearing that something, maybe something got taken. Maybe something got taken. So then I see him, but what he's doing is taking inventory at the table. And he stands up and he goes, she took one of the butt plugs? And we realized that he had this one sitting over here and the other one sitting right next to it. And the only thing missing was that.
Was the other one the bigger
But
one?
I did see Jenny go, that's crazy.
Yeah, a little weird walk. Had a weird little walk to her.
That's wild. Didn't anybody tell me, Joe Cocker, that fucking jam?
Well,
Didn't anybody?
She came in through
The bedroom window.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. We're gonna learn that one too. So
What
we've been.
what we covering tonight?
We're gonna cover a little bit of cannabis stuff.
Okay.
We're gonna get weird.
Okay.
We're gonna get real
get
weird
real
with
weird.
Dennison.
One of the things I know that
He's like,
one of the
That's
things
my
I saw,
favorite.
like here's the best thing. We got to find the silver lining in everything. All the
We do?
crazy turmoil that's going on politically in this country. We also have that doesn't sound great. All of the turmoil that's been going on, the frustration attached to COVID relief stimulus and it being like, whatever, 900 pages long or 2,300 pages long. Well, guess what's in the pages?
What?
In one of the addendums or one of the little the side little articles in the page,
Sure.
the government now has to disclose all UFO and alien information in 180 days. They have 180 days to dump out all of the information. Now, are they going to do it? Probably not. But I like where someone's head's at. Oh, we're going to slide some stuff in the bills. Okay, let's slide in the bills. Who killed Kennedy, bud? Who killed Kennedy? Huh?
Do you think they're actually gonna? Are they gonna answer that honestly?
No
or are
way.
they gonna, start whitewashing? Right? I mean,
That's what I'm
probably
thinking.
They're gonna be doing.
What are they going to actually be doing with all that information? They're really going to be feeding it to us, or are they going to be giving us the watered down version? As someone who's flown before, what's the general consensus of people in the air on UFOs? Speak for everyone.
I can't speak for everyone.
Speak for
but,
everyone who's ever flown
on
anything.
behalf of anyone that I'd ever worked with. I can't say that it's widespread that there's sightings of that. I've seen a lot of weird things in the sky, but a lot of times it is balloons or a bunch of birds or something. But and that's coming from somebody who's been wanting to see a UFO my entire life. Like I'm yearning for it, and it never has happened to me. So I'm like, please, show yourself. To
Show
me.
it to me.
You
bud.
can even abduct me. I don't care. Like if that's what it takes. Like,
Yeah,
I'd like
I'll
to
get
see it,
probed.
but,
I ain't worried about it.
but I'm a believer, but I want to see it to believe it too.
From the show me state, bud.
I feel as though I've seen some. We covered it a little bit last week. We talked about it. I feel like I've been in some spots. I know we're talking about doing a little camping trip and going try
That's
and
what
sight
we're
them.
getting to, baby. Aliens and ghosts.
We're talking about doing it. We're
Alien
gonna go
Ghost
we're gonna go
Weekend.
find some. I've been down. I've been in a few
CE5
different
protocol.
places, and so I've been watching this show, and I think I used it on my streaming pick a couple of weeks ago. I picked it up a little bit again last night. There's this show, Hangar One. I think it's on Netflix. And it's like they cover all of these MUFON files or something, which is like they're these guys and gals that have tracked all UFO sightings. And apparently Missouri is the #1 hotbed for UFO sightings and all.
We're
of
the
the
show me
country.
state.
We're the show me state, and so those aliens like, we'll
Like,
fucking
let's
show
show
them.
you.
You want to show you?
We'll
I'll
show you,
pal.
bud.
Watch this.
Some pretty cool stuff like in Johnson County around like Whiteman Air Force Base, which
No.
I
if
wonder
you're like
why.
on Whiteman
Yeah.
Air Force Base where they have the
Hmm.
B-2 bombers, you think
Yeah.
maybe they got some other stealth stuff
That's
going on?
crazy.
But what everybody's saying,
Or nuclear.
I don't know, man. Pretty crazy stuff.
Dennis was like, ha, 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 ha. Yeah, there's some weird stuff going on in the air sometimes, which is
Wow.
crazy. I've never seen anything personally, but I think maybe with these energy fields, and I'm really like, we're going to hold hands. I'm going to take your pen. I'm going to hit it about 3 times real nice and deep. I'm going to put myself in the best situation I can to receive some sort of energy. I never in my life since like communion in 2nd grade when I was like, man, I'm bought in on this fucking weird shit. You know what I mean? Even 8th grade with confirmation, it's like, this is kind of all for show. 2nd grade, you're bought into the whole grade.
Kidding me?
I had confession and communion.
Oh,
so
dude,
I'm
I
like,
went
ooh,
way further
weird,
than
wild.
Yeah, it
This
went
is
way
weird.
further than
I
2nd
want to
grade
do
for
that
me.
now. Oh, it did, but I'm
Yeah.
saying like as a sacrament, like
No
I
doubt.
want to go out there and have a legit sacrament out there where we're like, no, this is an event to contact fucking aliens.
Let's do it.
Let's put it all out there. Let's try, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Let's fucking put it out there and just see.
not?
Show yourself to me. Show yourself to me. I think it could. There it is. I can hear them communicating.
They're talking to you.
They're communicating through Craig's mouth and mine. They're like, why would you're gonna break a tooth?
I'm gonna break
Oh,
a
it's
tooth,
gonna
but
be
I'm gonna be the
awesome.
best fucking. I'm gonna be the best fucking mouthbar player there ever was, though. I don't
I
have.
thought
any
you were gonna
teeth
be the
left.
best bassist.
I'll both. I'm gonna play them both at the same time. Just get a little fucking boom, 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 boom. And then I'm just gonna.
How are
hammer
you
on.
gonna do that?
I'm gonna
Be a loop
fashion.
artist.
I'm gonna fashion one of those stupid fucking
Yeah, but
harmonica
you gotta
holders.
flip it. You're still gonna need somebody to do that. You can have Mike come over and go ding 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 whenever you need it to.
We can automate
he's
that.
got
Now we're getting it,
He's
baby.
got
Let's go.
Let's go.
I'm a big. I play in a Ozark Mountain Daredevils tribute band. Did I just hear a boner? You did. That's what I was going for. Can I call Bundren in the middle of the night? Seriously. William Vetter, if you don't call Bundren in the middle of the night, he would be upset. He wants to he wants to help you
He'll
with
cry.
your real estate questions, but the main thing is he's not going to do that during normal business hours because any real estate agent can do that. Where he gets ahead of the game is it's like when he's got those bedroom eyes and he's got that, like, when you wake up and your voice is like an octave lower.
I love that, man.
He's like, hey Billy V, I heard you're looking for a bungalow, baby.
A bungalow.
I'm glad you called me at 2:30 in the morning
That feels
because
so
there's
good.
just a new bungalow that hit the market. It isn't supposed to hit till 6 a.m. tomorrow, but that's the advantage you get when you go with Bungeon Property Group. We make deals at 2:30 before they actually get to the rest of the public. And there's also some noises like that going on in the background, and you get to decide what those are. But yeah, you can certainly call.
Probably
him
just a
all
guy
night.
with
You
his
should call
Jeep.
James Carlton State Farm at 314-961-4800. If you have insurance and you live in Missouri or Illinois and James Carlton isn't providing it to you, chances are your shit ain't covered right. Okay, it ain't covered right.
What do you
and-
get? You don't have a tushy?
dude? Get a bidet, you fucking cave people. Come on,
I'm gonna
wash,
get one.
Wash your ass.
I'm gonna buy one.
You
You
should
don't
buy
have
one.
one?
I don't have one.
Cool, man.
I'm gonna get one.
That gives me a boner.
Can you smell me? Mirror.
No, I actually licked your asshole clean earlier, so we're good.
Well, let's see.
Where are we at?
Yep, 21 minutes in. All right, there we go. 21 minutes.
Hey, I just want to say how funny it is. Your guest over here, when you're talking to each other, is just losing his damn mind. He's like trying so hard to keep it together.
Seth, can you maybe give us a rundown on what's going on? I'm gonna come bring us back from your rundown, maybe if you got one.
Do I have a rundown?
Yeah, if
I
you
have
wanna
no
tell 'em what's in
fucking
store
clue
for the
what's
rest of
going
the show.
on. I have no clue what's going on. I know
Sounds good.
we're gonna talk about some pork in the COVID bill that involves UFOs. We're gonna talk about a cartoon in Denmark.
What's the deal with that fucking thing? We got to get that global guy on the horn and ask him why are they. They talk about his pee pee.
They talk about it.
And we got streaming picks tonight. I got a great pick for tonight.
Rum
It's a
jobs.
St. Louis. It has to do with St. Louis and skateboarding, so you're gonna love it, Steve.
I love St. Louis and skateboarding.
Yeah,
my
for sure.
two favorite things. Except one of them isn't.
Except one of them isn't. So
You gotta pick which one.
What do you guys think about? My feed has been nothing but love and light here lately. My
Yeah.
social media feed.
It's a good idea, Craig. Actually, tag. This is like one of those stupid things where it's like tag a friend if you want to do something.
Yeah.
Tag a friend and give them the best compliment you can.
Oh, that's my favorite thing.
Just tag. A
We'll
friend.
read them. We'll read them out loud.
We'll
You
read
tag
'em out
any
loud.
friend, and just say what you love about them.
Say what
the
you love
world's
about 'em.
full of enough hate right now.
Yeah, let's
Like
spread
that.
a little love tonight. Raise the vibrational energy.
Besides, I got the declaration, guys.
Yeah, no backhanded stuff either. Like,
Sure.
gotta be legitimate.
Sure, definitely.
Yeah.
I like
I like you.
where
that you
your
have to
head's at.
clarify that.
None of that backhanded bullshit. Okay, like you guys are so great. I can't wait to spend every evening with you guys on Monday nights. It's so fun. You guys bring so much joy to the whole world.
A lot of joy.
So
happy
we
joy,
got a
man.
whole thing. End of February. We have a poll up on the page on the Sophisticated Hoosiers. If you want to go to a farmhouse in Bonne Terre, an old Civil War house, and try to contact ghosts maybe one night and aliens the next night, what I want to do is set it up so we have a warm home base. I think there's only like 6 beds. So maybe like the people who call first dibs on the bed are the first people to get down there after I get down there, of course, because I'll have all the information. So it'll be like an exercise in futility if you get down there. I want people to be able to camp outside if they want to, be able to spend the whole night outside looking up at the stars. And then I just want a home area where we can poop and pee and cook
Yeah,
and
that worked.
clean.
That worked out for us
And
real
go-
nice at the bachelor party.
Yeah, we were in a river of poop.
I've been in. We put
The
ourselves in
tide of
primitive
food.
situations all the time. Never been
Never
near
had
as
that
much
happen.
shit as I was in the confines of a nice
Ankle
little
deep.
Airbnb condo.
Ankle deep.
That place was real nice. The first night.
Yeah, it was pretty great. It had a little
Oh,
sewage
man.
smell. Maybe should have tipped us off a little bit. There was a little
Yeah,
methane.
Gurgling, some
gurgles,
We
definitely.
had a little bit of
issues.
trouble.
And
I'm
some of-
going. I got dibs. Skittles is in.
Yeah.
I'm packing my. Are you fucking for real? Shout out to Skittles. He's got a new pup. I think he named it Zigzag.
Zigzag.
So
Yeah.
that's a great name.
Not
Well,
after the
Great
papers though.
Great
Pyrenees.
Pyrenees.
It wasn't after the papers.
Sure.
No, it was after his the tool that he uses to kind of
Sure.
climb up into trees.
Sure.
I thought it was a belay, but it wasn't a belay. It's called a zigzag.
He's a dirty stoner. So
It's a zigzag.
It's a zigzag. Don't try to blow smoke up my butt, Skittles, unless I'm asking you to. And then come on the camp trip, and we'll see what happens whenever you guys come down. I cannot wait to meet Skittles. I also wanted to say a special shout out to Tiffany for bringing us a present. This is from Tiffany right here.
dudes?
Yeah, I don't know. Who cares?
I think they have breasts.
Both of them?
Well,
Sweet.
I don't know if you saw the opener of the show, but so
And-
do I, Dennison. So, you know.
Good definer. Yeah, we got one we can say now, anyways. But I don't
Quit
know.
staring at my tits all day. That's all you're doing. Is staring
Me
at
all
them.
boned up.
And her dad gave me a cock sock, which was nice. I really
That's the
appreciate
best
it. I
thing.
can't wait. I'm gonna wear it for Jen tonight. So Jen,
That's great. We
you're
got
in for one
we got some
tonight,
people
baby.
already coming through with the compliments. Jennifer Barra, the sound of your laugh warms my heart. Jenny Elgin, your family is so lucky to have you.
Who?
Jenna Kroll, besties for the resties. You guys what? You guys don't have anything nice. Heather Hausman, all of your time in the gym is paying off big time. How about that? We're just gonna keep on going.
Nice.
down
Keep
the-
hitting each other with the compliments. Tag your friends. This is fun. We're all gonna have a good time tonight. And if you want to share the Twitch feed, you can do that
I
too.
would. I would.
mean,
If I were you,
can.
I would share it to your friends in a text message and be like, look, these fucking guys are weirdos. And you guys should tune in and listen to what they have to say.
Man, it's amazing what it has become because I don't know, maybe it's that time again to kind of give people a rundown of where it all started and shit. I mean, 5 years ago, we were talking about CBD on the radio. Probably even longer than that now, maybe. Probably about that. 2015.
We will be 3 years old on May 4th. This show
Dude,
will be.
this-
So we had 2 years before that. So yeah, about 5.
We got in trouble on the radio for talking about CBD and having legal concentrate vape pens. We were on a sports station, so then they brought our producer into the office and said, "Are you guys selling weed on the radio, bud?" And he's like, I think so. I think we are." And he's like, "Well, we're not like selling it out the back. Like we were at 11 o'clock show at night on St. Louis. We kind of had this little cult following of pizza guys.
It was the best.
Then we got to meet Robbie Basil. We got
Stephanie
to meet
Tufts.
Stephanie Tufts.
Mhm. Jeff Nazansky,
Yes, people they were curing their kids.
Tom Mundell,
epilepsy.
Blake Bell put us
CBD.
in contact
Blake
with
Bell was
the entire
first
project
guy.
422. And Blake, and after we got to know Blake, he started introducing us to a lot of people who were, either A, negatively affected by the war on drugs, or B, they're help treating their families' sicknesses illegally at the time, with cannabis. And it seemed like, well, and then you saw Chance, and then that was really the kind of the catalyst to what this show, I guess, was going to kind of be about.
Sure.
Which was like, we got to start having conversations about people healing in ways that are hard to quantify, right?
Mhm.
And when we started hearing a lot of these stories where, holy shit, like the cancer cells are dying off and these doctors can't explain it. Well, we could kind of explain it. We knew what was happening there. And it actually got to be a little, tiresome to hear doctors be like, well, I just don't know how this could have happened. Oh, really? Because we've repeated it like, I don't know, three
And
out of
it's
three.
us.
Yeah.
Three
It's
out of three
us
times.
saying it. I
Yeah.
need you to come with me. Like that's where I'm kind of going with this. But to be on the journey with Chance, like Chance Hamilton was this 18-year-old kid. He fucking like beefy, had his whole life ahead of him, working out with his dad and like becoming. I can see this guy becoming a man. He's a friend of the family, Jenny's cousin's friend's kid. But they're the Jenny's family's so tight and Southside's so tight, and they've all known each other for so long. So I started to see the journey on Facebook. That's when I was like, do I get involved? I'm a rando of randos. So I got involved with Jen. Jen got involved with their family, or her cousin. Her cousin got involved with that family. Finally, they're like, yeah, let's hear it. So I gave them, I just put it on the page. It was Dr. Christina Sanchez talking about how in Madrid they were curing cancer. They were taking it from petri dish models to animal models to where they said, we have to start testing this on people right now. It's in breast cancer and in brain cancer with like not medulloblastoma, glioblastoma. And so they're like, it's working.
What's the downside?
What is the downside?
You might get a little buzzed if you got too much THC.
Yeah, you're not going to kill them from too much medicine.
No.
You're
Which
not-
actually probably helps a little bit.
Which that's what I've
anxiety
seen.
or with,
I've seen chemo just waste people away now. Being a
Yeah.
37-year-old man, I've lived to hear enough tales that it's like, and see enough
Chemo
shit.
just destroys people's minds too. I mean, you talk to anybody that's had chemotherapy, and they don't have the recall
during their
ability that
treatments,
they've had.
especially if they happen to go into remission, it takes them quite a while to get rid of that brain fog.
Yeah,
I mean,
my mom's 5 years past and still. She's still foggy.
the gist of it, right, is the fact that you're pouring fucking radiation into the body, so you're you're just hoping that your strong cells survive. It's killing everything.
And that's considered okay. Like,
Right.
I know it's the best we got, and it works in some ways, but I feel like we're not progressing there. And I saw a fucking great friend of mine, and we've had the conversation before about if we could use the same protocol. And I know it's very different, but when COVID became the thing, it was like all of our best minds on it right now. Let's fix it. Let's do it. We're okay. We got it fixed. And I know that that's a whole thing. I don't even understand it. Some people say COVID can't have a vaccine because it mutates all the time. That's why there hasn't been a vaccine. And some people are like, well, you can't cure childhood cancer, brain cancer, because it's different than the COVID thing, they have so much testing on. I'm like, I see a post on Facebook being a part of these groups now where there's kids dying. More kids I see die in their stories online than I am seeing the COVID stories, which have kind of been hidden from us because no one can visit their friends and family, and it's fucking crazy. That whole it's an insanity. But the article was dedicated to like, hey, if we can fucking direct our energy and attention to something, let's do it. Because right now we are wasting so much time and energy on shit that doesn't matter at all. So to kind of bring it back to the weed thing, that's when we started to learn about RSO. That's when I started to learn. I had seen the Rick Simpson thing, but I had seen in Chance Hamilton's life, God bless that motherfucker, that it was they gave it to him that night, and that night I saw on Facebook, they texted me and said, this is what's going on. And that night on Facebook, I saw he was up dancing. He was singing, he was eating. So all these little things were already happening that I was like, oh, good, that's already freaking happening. And I found a study with actually ALL, acute lymphoblastic leukemia, that it actually had fixed it. It had taken the white blast cell count to a normal level, just cannabis oil. And the reason I remembered that article is because the doctors had to write down, we used white widow oil for this one. And I was like, oh, I remember thinking as I was just reading the story, like, that's crazy that these doctors, I wonder what they were thinking when usually they're like 3 parts per million of hydrochlorobeam, and they're like, okay. And then they're like, oh, white widow leaves, like purple punch, all this stuff. I'm like, oh, these doctors are probably like, this is dumb. But after 74 days, they had her blast cell count down to nothing. This girl that the study was about. Then at day 76, she got a fever, got an infection, and died. And they called it some syndrome. So I looked up what the syndrome was, and the syndrome was actually named for people who die from chemo treatment. They had a name for what you die when you get too much chemo. And I was like, holy fuck, that's a whole thing in itself. So to be able to see how it's impacted people's lives, and that's why I'm such a little petulant child on the internet sometimes, because I take that shit personally. And I know everybody's got a story. This is just mine. This is the role I'm going to play. This is the part I'm going to play, because I'm constantly on Facebook going, oh, yeah, your sodas and your candies. And you're even like, yeah, I got gummies too. But there's a market that's been built up, a cannabis market, a medicine market, where they said, no, only these guys can play. Only these people can produce it. And we're going to set the market rate. And guess what? RSO, that's a fucking afterthought, bud. When I'm looking for them, as leaders to say, no, RSO, I know this plan. I know it like the back of my hand. I'm in it. I'm in it to treat the patients. RSO, guess what? We're going to try it on every damn kid we can to see if it helps. You know, like, we are finding out, like you said, what is it going to do? Kill them from too much THC? Yeah. I mean, we haven't never seen it before. Like, we got to get real. We got to get the leaders on board, because so that's what this is. I feel bad. I've been snarky, and maybe I don't do that. I just did that to kind of get some attention. Obviously, I'm an attention whore. But maybe I be less snarky and I say, help me. Help. I need your help, which we've done that as Sweet Leaf Emporium. We've tried to reach out, or, I don't want to speak for Jason, but as people here, as a community, we've tried to help, tried to get to the people who do have the power to make a parent's worries go away. Because when you're a parent, and even me knowing what I can, giving my child to RSO, I'd be like, ooh, I don't really know what's going on. Man. I don't really know what's going on. The doctor's not really with me on this. I'm doing it on my own. That fear you got to fucking live with, I ain't with that. So that's what makes me angry, because we have fun here all day. I don't want people to think like, oh, Steve, you're supposed to be. We've just been talking about it so long now
I've got friends
that I feel like I'm climbing up the wall going crazy.
We've got friends all throughout the industry. The one thing that's been great trying to get Amendment 2 passed was the way that everybody came together. And as soon as it did, we knew that it was going to splinter. It was going to be the fucking warriors, and everybody was going. There was going to be factions all throughout. Here's the beef. You got now. There's 2 manufacturing facilities, and we're going to have a shitload of manufacturing facilities. I believe that Heartland Labs is going through commencement here pretty soon. But right now, Proper's got manufacturing. They got 90,000 square feet of manufacturing space. Clover's got 130,000 square foot kitchen. Okay. You got 220,000 square feet of manufacturing facility, and there's not a fucking drop of RSO on the shelves. I don't care. Listen, I'm all about. You want to offer me a beautiful shopping experience. You want to have waterfall walls. You want to build your fucking place so it's a spa. That's great. Can I have a single wide trailer I can go in and buy fucking RSO syringes? Can I do that? Because that's what I need to get to people. That's what people need for medicine. And right now, it's so cost prohibitive. It would be, I don't know, Dennison, maybe you could help me out on this. It's got to be the cheapest fucking concentrate that you can actually make, I would think. Besides maybe pressing, but the yield on that's got to be pretty small. I don't know. Am I right in thinking that? Is RSO fairly? It's got to be cheaper than fucking following some kind of guidelines of a national brand like Robots or Wana or insert name of national cannabis candy brand here. Like RSO is pretty inexpensive to make, correct?
The answer is yes. I mean, it's that simple. And a lot of it could be boiled down to, well, greed, of course, but education and patience even. Like, a lot of people do know what it is, but many people don't. Sure. They're saying, hey, give me the gummies. Like, I want the gummies. Like, they know that they've heard their uncle's cousin talk about how it worked for them or whatever. So, they need to start demanding that and requiring that they give that to them,
and I
or
do
at least
think
make it available.
And I do think gummies help, like for people who are feeling like anxiety or pain.
They all have
or
their
something
place.
Like that. Yeah,
everything has its place.
I'm not saying there's,
and
not
it's a delivery modality that makes it easier to consume. So I get that. Like, it's not like RSO's tasty. You eat your fucking medicine. Yeah. When we talk about cannabis as medicine, I'm watching my dad die, and sure, smoking cannabis helped, vaping cannabis helped. I wish I would have known more about RSO at the time because of the nature of his cancer, which was in his gut. He needed to be eating it, and he needed to be eating it in high doses. And Amber here says we got to remember that in order to kill cancer cells, RSO needs to be testing out at 80%. Amber went through it. Amber's got Nolan's Tribe for Cannabis Warriors, it's just frustrating to me when people hear the average voting public. Like, you have weed enthusiasts that know that Rick Simpson actually stumbled upon something that can actually save lives. That's pretty much been circulated around the cannabis community over the last decade or so, where they're the ones that know. But if you talk to the average person who just smoked the joint in high school or had a fairly positive experience with cannabis, maybe not regular users, but know that it's not that harmful, the average person that was voting for this legislation has no idea what FECO oil does in a cancer protocol. And when we talk about cannabis curing cancer, we are talking about RSO. We're not talking about fucking smoking weed. We're not talking about fucking concentrates.
Yeah, helping
we're
with your chemo symptoms is a lot of people equate it to.
And that's fine. And that again, that helps. It helps with nausea. Where it helped my dad, his nausea meds were $2,500 a month. Completely unsustainable. No way we could have done that. What we were doing with $2,500 a month, $100 a weed was doing better. It gave him an appetite. It helped him sleep. It helped with anxiety. It gave him a little bit of a quality of life. So that in and of itself
made you tolerable.
How about that? That in and of itself is cannabis working as a medicine. However, when we're talking about reversing cannabis, we're talking about full extract cannabis oil, and there isn't a goddamned drop on a single dispensary shelf in Missouri. That is a problem.
Nor are they the head of their forefront of their social media marketing. None of that gets discussed. That's what makes me upset, just because I've done social media marketing before. I get it. I know how soul-sucking it can be. But when you're a medicine company, it's an easy home run for you to say, we are medicine first. Whatever I have to do, it's a pretty simple formula. How do I get medicine to people first? That's the first thing I think about Everything else is an afterthought. I know people, and I see really good people online because I'm always going after dispensaries, and they're like, well, the dispensaries are kind of at the hands of cultivators. I'm asking for people to stand up and step up and say, no, this dispensary on social media, we're going to say the cultivators are complete assholes. We're with you. We're going to wait because guess what? They're gouging us. I just don't understand how a business can survive at $4,000 right now per pound, and then in a year they're going to be like, yeah, we could do $1,700 a pound. Okay, whatever you want. If you're the new guy in town, economics, I get it. You're the first guy to get this stuff. They've created a market where everybody can't get it, and that makes me think about social equity too, because we always think we have to come in here and be like, yeah, Latinos and African Americans, come in here and make sure you have one on there because we're still in charge. But we'll make sure there's like 3 or 4 of you in here that we can put on our social media and say, hey, cool. Guess what? Let everyone have licenses and communities will build themselves. You don't think the African American or Latino community has been selling weed for eternity? They were the first guys to come in here and bang all of our white women. You know what was going on. We read the newspaper clippings, and I'm for one, I'm cool with it, okay? So I'm good with it.
You're Cucky the Dwarf.
But the deal is we are so patronizing in that to be like, here's a helping hand. Oh, you don't have $1 million to get into it because your family's been destroyed by the war on drugs? Well, maybe you can get on a board and we can have one of you in here. That way we look less fucking racist, right? Okay. Put a couple chicks and African Americans out there and we'll be all good. Because that's what's happening right now. If they just said licenses are available, you fucking got to pay $100 to go get one. Then you can sell weed from your trailer or out in the woods, or you can sell one from your North County building that you bought for fucking $1,000. They're giving away buildings in North County, St. Louis for $1. Let's rebuild that shit with the cannabis community and stop giving them a 14% tax. We were talking about that. I started thinking about that more. The new legalization measure in Missouri says 14% tax. No, absolutely not. Alcohol is 4.33% or something. You're not going to tax me at all on it. If I want to sell it, I'm going to sell it for sales tax. You're going to do it. You're not going to do it because you were wrong. Stay out of it. We've actually been doing a good job getting this plant to everyone while you were trying to stop us. So now don't try. Help us if you can, but if you can't help us, get the fuck out of the way because we've been doing it. We've been here since the fucking beginning, and I am standing on the shoulders of giants. Without people who came before me, I am nothing. They kept the dream alive. All of those people, I can't thank them enough for them being, because that's the days when they were like 20 years for fucking Mizanski. They're like, hey, you fucking had a pound. Well,
Dude,
that's
the
20
most strike
he
had.
Fucking years, bud.
His sentence came. He had like an 1/8 on him in his pocket. It was a 3rd strike law that put him in jail for fucking 23 years.
Now you're gonna tax me at 14%? Cool.
You've got the most powerful country in the world coming down on you. They had a war on you.
A war on us.
They claimed we are at war on drugs. And they claimed it was a drug. So, I mean, you're literally at war with them.
Yeah, so. Your brain produces DMT. Are they going to fucking go to war on the people? Yeah, guess what? They fucking did. They did. They went to war on the people. And now the people who went to war on us want to say, well, it's legal now. Just fill out this form and make sure you only grow 6 of those plants. Because if you grow 8.
Look at this camera and that camera and
look at
Let me check your ID 3 times.
In Pennsylvania, that article we read, we're going to have the I guarantee when this next issue of them saying what the average eighth cost across the United States, that it'll be us in Illinois. We'll be 1 and 2, whether or not how that stacks out. Well, 3 is Pennsylvania. They pay $150,000 a year on security on average, a dispensary. I'm like, that seems like an insane amount. Like,
well,
they
dude,
act
they
like
deal in all cash. So that's the biggest
thing that they
the biggest issue is there's boatloads of cash moving
and
through
there's
this place
that
daily.
was going in with like the metric type system
Which
too,
how is that working
which was
between
tracking.
the dispensaries and the cultivators? They giving them sacks of cash to the cultivators, or are they wiring money?
I don't know. Why don't you guys
Brings
let
up
us
an
know?
interesting point.
What are you guys doing? You guys
I'm just curious. You know,
Well-
I can't imagine they're dropping off duffel bags. Of it might be.
Is it crypto transactions?
That's what I would do.
Trading a little Bitcoin?
Something
fuck,
that had
that'd
a
be
small,
great.
well, I mean, like
Smart
something like a
contract.
Litecoin or something that had a real small fee on it.
speaking of lending to everybody, have you looked into DeFi contracts, decentralized financials? They're starting to do through cryptocurrencies.
I actually was looking at a token the other day that kind of operated like a bond, which is really pretty interesting, dude. This is the thing. Okay, so we can tie this into the shit that's going on right now.
Yeah.
Because I don't really want to avoid the topic because I think it's a good conversation. As we all know, Parler was removed from the App Store and the Google Play Store, which was like, okay, it's fine. It's the rules. You can still download the app third party from their website. You can still participate on the app. So they're taking off the two main places where most people can get this service on it. And my whole thing was like, well, wait a minute. What's Parler doing that like Signal isn't doing? Because we have a reasonable right to privacy. We have a reasonable right to be able to have conversations that aren't being recorded. That's how crazy like living in the times of the Patriot Act is like people legitimately like have forgotten like the Fourth Amendment in its entirety, right? And so it's a really interesting people and there's other conversations to be had about inciting violence or whatever else, but so okay, they're pulled off of the App Store, they're pulled off of Google Play Store. Fine. Everyone's like, it's no big deal. They just can't get it off of there anymore. People have to get it. Well, now Amazon's Web Services, which is hosting their site, cut their site. So now they've effectively been. And what we're dealing with, and this is something, and the reason I bring it up is because whether or not, like, I would never be on Parler. I'm not joining Parler. I have no, but what were we talking about? Michael Douglas saying you want to speak for free, you want to stand up for free speech. Do it when somebody that you don't agree with is trying to say something.
Yeah.
Right?
The hardest.
And that's the hardest fucking part. But if we don't stay consistent on that, we have real problems. We see it based on what we talk about. Just the fact that we talk about cannabis and psychedelics on these we're operating outside of their rules as is right now because of what we're doing. And so it's very hard to get the message out. It's very hard. Like we could never boost a post. We could never pay Facebook to even play the game. Yeah. I would love to just say, okay, what does it cost for me to get to where my stream reaches every single one of my followers? It'll never happen. You see, like I'll throw a name out there. Somebody like I'm trying to think of like some of the more popular like Facebook live streams. Ben Shapiro, something like that. Okay, he's got 8 million followers. He might have 50,000 people watching one of his lives as he's playing, but out of 8 million, like that's crazy. We could have 4,000. We've seen our analytics
2 to 3% of your followers.
We were saying we'll see our following go like this, and we'll see our reach go like this, and there's no real rhyme or reason to it. It's like. Yeah,
well, I mean, probably only the people that have selected to see your stuff first, like me. I had to do that. You guys disappeared.
You have to go out of your way to do it, and then there's also things that we're dealing with. Like one of the things that frustrates me, being an admin of a private group on Facebook, is they have their fact checkers. It's fine. You want to put a fact checker on there, that's fine. However, when you penalize me for not deleting posts that you deem are not true, why don't you just censor the speech? Don't make me the fucking actor. Like, don't make me squeeze the trigger. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what fucks me up. It's like, then all of a sudden, the rules that I've had for our group from the day one, from our community, which is like, hey, we're never going to censor speech. You say some shit, you say some hateful shit, it's going to stay up. You're going to learn your lesson. We're going to rally around it. And you're going to have to sit in your shit so you can learn your lesson. That's the deal. Well, then all of a sudden, it was like, okay, whenever the fact checker really got strong, it started going retroactive on everything. And so we're getting things every other day. And it's like, for us, it's not, okay, I'll delete a post from 2 years ago. Nobody's interacting on that post anyway. That's fine. But the fact that I had to do it is crazy. Well, we didn't do it for the longest time. We let them do it. And then they completely shut down the group to where it wasn't showing up in anybody's feeds. None of our stuff was getting anywhere until we took action. So then we take action, but then it was just like this. It was like starting from ground zero again. This is an issue that we're dealing with tech companies. And yes, as a free market libertarian of sorts, I have a very hard time talking about regulation of private companies that should be able to design the rules for their platform. However, when we're talking about social media and big tech, these companies are now more powerful than most countries. And really not that much further away. I mean, there's a handful that are stronger than Facebook and Apple and Amazon especially. Like these are huge companies with huge reach, and there is a conversation about antitrust that has to be had. about something. I'm really curious to see where the ACLU falls on this, because I think on one hand they're probably going to call for the impeachment of Trump because of the incitement, and I can see that. That makes sense to me. On the other hand, the ACLU have been ardent defenders of the First Amendment at all costs, and so I'm interested to see what this happens. I understand the First Amendment doesn't necessarily apply to the terms and conditions of private companies. However, these private companies now create a reality that all of us, all humans, participate in half of their lives. Half of our lives is in the digital space. Most of us are probably spending, I mean, the numbers would probably freak us out if we saw how much screen time. Probably 8 to 10 hours a day in some kind of screen, whether it's your phone, whether it's your computer, whether it's wherever. So we're going to start to have a conversation, because I don't want to see this apply to people like that
6 hours.
that think like me, and I don't want to see, and that's just on your phone, right?
That's just on my phone, bud.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think that that's probably average, if not below average. I mean,
I don't know
especially
if that's
considering
like Amazon falling asleep and shit too.
maybe, especially like
I'll pretend like
kids
that's a
coming up
deal.
in. So it is a nuanced conversation that right now emotions are running a little too high to, I think, to have online. I think it's important that we have the conversation, because we have seen it on a very small scale. Parler's got 12 million fucking. It was the #1 downloaded app in the world. And if the idea is we're shutting this down because of incited violence, well, then how does "Hang Mike Pence" be the #1 trending hashtag on Twitter and no action be taken? Because it's not the same fucking game.
No. The media is 100% garbage, full of shit. Everything, even the people who are saying that is listening to their media is also 100% garbage bullshit. What has happened is all these people own the same things and keep the same message going, and they all have a fucking cabal. That's the real cabal, the fucking media cabal that has learned how to manipulate people through years and years and years of fucking CIA research and all of that shit. I say, good. Bury your fucking self, Facebook. Bury yourself, Amazon. All of our tech is getting more localized at every fucking second. 10 years ago, you couldn't. 20 years ago, to have a studio like this, you're looking at hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now it's getting smaller. We can run shit from all this small stuff. They're figuring out little buttons for this. Okay, a drone? Well, I didn't even know what that was 10 years ago. Now I got my own little mini drone. I got a big drone. You got a drone. You got a FLIR. And it's like, okay, cool. All of the technology is absorbing us as we go to where these big tech giants are like, yeah, we're the kings of this shit. But are we? Because when we get more localized with our shit, if creators want to create, they're not going to need the gatekeepers anymore. We want to create, we're going to create. If this shuts us down, we're going to figure something else out. If that shuts us down, we're going to go somewhere else. The creators will always create. But the fact that someone thinks they can make a decision for me on what I can and can't say, can and can't hear, can and can't do on a fucking internet site, that's horseshit. I will go elsewhere. Maybe there's nowhere else to go. Fine and dandy. I get that. But the deal is, fuck you. Right in your tiny hole. Tiny little hiney hole. Because I need to make the decisions for myself. And I don't care that there's like inciting rebellion and stuff. I should probably care more about it. But this is the human experience, baby. If someone can rile a bunch of people up and we didn't rile people up enough to figure out a way to calm them down or eventually overtake them, that's just fucking life as it go. That's just how baseball go. Don't take speech away from people. Let them all talk and let the chips may fall where they may.
Well, there's also, for me, I think one of the important things is I don't think we as a society have anything to gain pushing the fringes into the shadows. Like that is where bad weird shit fucking happens.
For sure. That's what I'm saying. They'll figure out a way.
We're gonna find a way.
You want to keep pushing them
What
away?
I find is
Okay.
interesting. There's an answer to
that'll
all
get
of this.
rid of it.
There's an answer to all of this. Unfortunately, the people that are mostly affected by this action, right, are people who aren't super tech savvy. They're an older generation. They're our age and older. So they're not going to learn the blockchain. They're not going to learn how the blockchain effectively works, but the blockchain does address most of this. It's a completely decentralized internet, and there is a way to communicate where there are no overlords running this thing. And I think it's the internet our kids will participate in, and we will towards the end, and we'll be able to. It's going to be the person that somehow finds a way to marry the interface, right? To make working on the blockchain feel like working on the white web as we know it, right? Like, so.
No, Dennison was even talking about fiat currency today and how that is a whole thing. It's like it's just all a fucking shit show right now. That we are going. Money is just a trust. If we can get this blockchain technology to pretty much verify and we can trust it for these transactions, we don't need them anymore. We don't need a federal government or Federal Reserve or any of that shit. It's a big fucking shell game anyway.
It's not quite there yet. I mean, you have probably 3 generations of cryptocurrencies right now.
Yeah.
I don't know how many there are, 25, 50,000 probably.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
ton
a
of 'em.
shitload. But I mean, there's basically 3 tiers. You know, you've got Bitcoin, you've got Ethereums, and then you've got like your decentralized,
all your altcoins,
your proof of stake coins. So they operate off a different protocol to verify the blockchain. So the ones like Bitcoin and Ethereum, they have congestion issues. So like you won't be able to do millions of transactions a second like you can with like MasterCard or some major processor that's operating today. But some of the 3rd generation cryptocurrencies are doing tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of transactions per second. Operating in a decentralized,
and also like so then we have this other thing that we have to navigate in that space, which is it's a place where the SEC has started to get involved, but when the big banks started to see the viability of Bitcoin, of these different coins, then all of a sudden they have entire wings. I mean, a lot of investment firms, a lot of 401k plans, they're now starting to allocate assets into crypto, as they should, but it's still, when you tell people when you try to explain to them why Bitcoin is worth anything, their eyes gloss over. I had to listen to it 100 times for it to even start to make sense.
I had to learn what money was first before I really understood Bitcoin, because then I started to think, I'm like, what's fucking money?
Mm-hmm.
Who's the first guy who said, hey, how about them sheep?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you these 2 fairly useless fucking coins here.
It's probably just a chunk of metal. At
Here
the
you
time,
go, buddy.
know?
And you're like, cool, give me this goat thing. Here's my goat.
It's funny because several years ago on Reddit, you could gift somebody Reddit gold, but then there were people that would give like Doji coins, on there, and they weren't worth anything. And then like in 2017, when everything was going fucking haywire and again, is Dogecoin taking off
dude,
again?
it went.
I mean,
grew
this
like
was something
400%.
that people just gave to internet strangers thousands at a time, just as a joke. And I mean, now it's a speculative coin, and it doesn't really have any function. It's not like a good.
It's a clone of Bitcoin, but the supply is like in the billions instead of 13 million or whatever.
How long, if you had to give a guesstimate of how long it'll switch to Bitcoin and the like, how far away do you think we are?
There's major companies integrating blockchain into their
I would say
their business now.
Yeah,
today, IBM has their own blockchain. Like,
it's
happening
now.
All
Here's
the big,
deal: like the
firms,
Goldman Sachs.
Yeah, Goldman Sachs. Like all them were obviously.
That's what I'm saying. They could speculate for the longest time. They were able to speculate. They were able to pump and dump, and they didn't have the rules that the SEC put on them on all these other financial vehicles. And so that made the market super volatile for a while. And then the average person who was holding coin. That's why everyone was like hodl, because if you're trying to trade along with like very fucking advanced algorithm trading,
HOTL or something. What is
HODL?
What is it?
It was an
acronym, wasn't it?
Well, he typoed, right? It was supposed to be hold the line.
He was shit faced and like he, I don't know, sold a bunch of his Bitcoin for nothing, and then it skyrocketed, and like he was wasted, and he was like, going on this huge rant about how you should just hold onto your coins, and then he's tried to say hold them, and he said hodl, and
It just
became
became
a
a
thing.
thing like the internet does.
That's I love the internet. Don't take it from me.
The blockchain sufficiently creates a decentralized internet, but the problem is A, deciding on what the tokens or coins are going to be, and then I mean, you can use them as an investment vehicle. I mean, dude, I have friends who far younger than me who have bought houses for cash, and
Yeah.
I mean, for just holding and staking or building a mining computer that when a coin still had plenty of codes out
Dude.
there, I mean,
Fuck,
unbelievable.
You could have mined a fucking Bitcoin with that
With this.
goddamn thing
Oh,
in
in
2013,
2012?
12,
Yeah, totally.
13, whatever. I
Totally,
mean,
yeah.
you could have been doing 5 a day probably.
Yeah.
I remember a guy had like 4 phones all surrounded, and he was mining Bitcoin. He's like,
Yeah.
"This thing's mining Bitcoins," and I was like, "That's cool. I should probably look into that."
Yeah. Dude, I was going to buy some Bitcoin back when it was like $5 a coin
How it
because I wanted
goes.
to get some shit off the dark web because that was the only
the only
use
way.
for it at the
Yeah,
time.
sure.
I was like living in the country. I'm like, how do I buy drugs? I get them on the dark web, like mail it to me. So I'm like, how do I do that? Bitcoin. Okay, I got to send money to these people. I don't know if I trust this. So like I didn't bite.
Did you ever do it?
No, I really regret. I did get in before the big 2017 push, and I made a little bit of money, but I was one that didn't hodl. I
Sure.
took some profits like an idiot. I mean, it was like
Well, yeah,
20%,
but at the time,
you
still, you play with house money if you
Yeah,
can,
exactly.
peel some profits back. and-
He's down there ordering
I'm
some.
I mean,
make
dude,
20
just
grand
even
right
as
here, like-
even as far as I mean, I bought a lot of coins in 17, and then took a bath, and it was like,
Tell us more about this bath.
took a real bath, bud. It was a blood bath.
He's
And
like,
then
"Oh,
it
let
was
me get
like,
on here.
"Oh,
I'm
he's
gonna."
never gonna come back." Okay, cool. When's this? And the thing is, but I did kind of in the back of my mind, like, Trump was a very pro stock market president. Like
Yeah.
people's returns in the
Like-
stock market over the last year, let alone the last several years, have been insane. Like there's going to be a major paring back, I would think. And the idea behind me was like, well, and for no other reason than just how Trump was touted and kind of some of the things that Biden's like, man, if Biden's elected, I could see crypto taking off again. Well, it
Mhm.
started to take off before,
When all the
but things were
election,
already
yeah.
tumultuous. We're
Right.
all locked into our houses, people are already starting to speculate, like it might not be a good year for the markets or big businesses, blah, blah, let's start moving into it. I mean, Jesus, dude, on our show, just on our morning show, I remember you messaging in like Bitcoin just broke 20 grand.
Yeah.
It was $42,000 yesterday. Now it's
Yeah.
gone. It's paired off about
It's-
10 grand. It's like 33 today,
32,
something
yeah,
like that.
something.
I'll tell you right now.
But yeah, I mean, when it was 19, that was like $3 grand off of its all-time high in 2017, and
So
everybody was losing their shit.
It's just under 34 grand right now.
Yeah.
So, but even then, probably a value.
What's the thought process behind that?
Buy a car with one.
Like, why is everybody rushing to it?
Because
Why is the
I mean,
value
you've
of
seen
it going
everybody, world governments, all central governments around the world have been printing money at an ungodly rate.
We printed more. I think the Fed printed more money this year, which is crazy considering the last 8 years.
Yeah.
They printed more money this year than they have in the last 20.
How will this
And they're
replace
not
a
alone.
transaction?
Yeah, and everybody's done that, right?
Yeah,
So
everyone,
So like
the whole world.
this looks like
Except
this,
China.
the stores and each other accepting each other's bitcoins, and we're
Yeah,
just giving it.
peer-to-peer.
We're just giving it an arbitrary value, or whatever the.
well, there's a finite number of
That's
them,
tricky.
right?
Okay.
So there's
Are
only
they getting harder to get?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
so
it's
it's
pretty
called
tough
the
to mine.
halving.
Yeah, it's pretty tough to mine a Bitcoin
Yeah,
right
Okay.
now.
Yeah, you need a
Matter of
data
fact,
center.
in 17, another one of the things that was happening is like rather than you mining, you could stake these mining farms, and so you could enter a contract. And I fucking lost my ass on one of these, and I
Did you
even
take
thought
another bath?
I'm like, man, I probably could have just bought the
Dad
fucking
bath.
coin and just
Nice.
let the coin. The coin probably would have operated at the same thing, but the idea is like you're buying the computing power, so you're basically renting a miner.
MFT.
I'll tell you which
You're
one it
renting a
was.
miner,
Because I
or we
think I
put
was
back on the
involved in it.
black
The
web.
Golem
dog?
Network?
What's that?
Was it the Golem Network?
I'm not sure exactly what this farm
Was
was
it
called.
rockdog.com?
Bitcoin mining
Was it
farm.
boysandbaths.com?
Yeah, dadbath.com.
Dad Bath, that's it. Damn it.
Poison bath.
That's gonna come up
Jesus,
with something
that's
freaky.
Bad. That's bad. That's dark web
Don't type
talk.
that in there.
Dark web talk.
Yeah, dark web.
They had
Hashtag
a
dark
couple,
web.
few of them. I'll have to look up through them. There's
Hey-
Genesis Mining. What was another one? Let's see.
So there was one I was involved in. It was GNT, the Golem Network, and it was like you would rent out your computing power to like a decentralized network of a computer, basically, and you would get paid in GNT for lending your computing power.
And there's a
Get
lot
paid
of cool.
Gint.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot of cool
Gunt.
coins like where you were talking about like stake tokens or something like you got like Neo, and if you stake your Neo, in other words, you're basically guaranteeing it works kind of like a CD. You're not going to take it out of the market. You leave it there, right?
And it's kind of it fills in that piece of the puzzle of the blockchain.
Right.
So instead of having to do all the algorithms to come up with the new code for the next block, which certifies all the transactions that happen, they're already in place.
Right.
So like it's
And
much
as you
faster,
do that,
less
they
energy
have
intensive.
other tokens that basically make theirs work. So like Neo's, for instance, was gas. So as long as you kept your Neo staked, you were earning gas as it was going, right?
Yeah.
And then and gas itself has its own coin and it has its own value, and people can speculate on that as well. It's
Is there
really
something that could happen where you pay different coins for different things, like, or will one just become the champion?
well,
Like
there
different
will be
corn
more-
coin,
Yeah,
or
different-
weed coin.
Well, different
or-
tokens have different functions. So I actually heard a really cool idea for one the other day at this gym, and this gym has a network of businesses that they work with. One's a cryo chamber, one's a float
Sure.
spa, one is a meals at home business,
Okay.
and so based on their workouts, based on these machines, you can earn tokens if your
Oh, that's
workout is if you're improving in your workout. So if you set basically you have a profile, an online profile that measures you as you're working out, and it sets a ghost for you, like playing old Gran Turismo and have the ghost car that you'd be trying to beat in a race. Okay, so your first workout it sets a fucking line. Well, your next workout, if you trend above that line, you're earning tokens. And if you trend below it, you're not losing or anything. You're just not earning
Yeah.
tokens. And as long as you're getting stronger, you're earning these tokens. Well, these tokens can then be used as a currency. It's a way to incentivize people to live healthier lives, and also, you can spend this new currency that is now it's creating a microeconomy through businesses that are all kind of buying into this idea. So now all of a sudden you can buy a float, or you can spend some of that towards a float, make up the rest in cash. You can, like I said, you can spend it towards whatever, healthy chef. Whatever it all, and right now the token exists, so you don't
Buy
even
a
have
healthy
to.
chef?
Yeah, you can buy a healthy chef. You can buy anything with it if you want. You can put a value on anything, but you can buy the food. You can buy a time in a cryo chamber. You can buy time in a whoever decides to participate
Time
in
in
this
a bottle.
micro. If I could save time in a bottle,
Get it? Buy
the first thing that I'd like to do.
Go back in time and buy some Bitcoin.
Oh, oof, wouldn't it be nice?
Wouldn't it be nice if bought some Bitcoin?
Boy, it would be nice. Anywho, so that's kind of a cool idea. Is like now all of a sudden you can get people, like-minded businesses, people on board that see a value in your coin, and it can be traded amongst. It's kind of similar to. This wasn't crypto,
Showbiz
but
tokens.
when we talked to the dude from Aiden Pay and Ashley
Yeah.
at the last deal, kind of the same idea. Is like you can earn this, you can trade your money to spend it in dispensaries, and then they don't have to worry about dealing with the cash.
What does the
or
future look
credit.
like when it's all Bitcoin? Is it going to be a slow transition?
Well, it's not going to all be
from-
Bitcoin.
or not? Sorry,
but all crypto.
crypto
Yeah.
blockchain type of.
It's not going to be a whole lot different because most of our transactions are with plastic anyway.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
most
how
of
will
our
you
transactions
earn
are
one
online.
if there's only so many coins?
How
How
do you get
will
paid then?
you like if people start out like with Bitcoin? It's gonna be hard for me to get a Bitcoin now.
Well, not really. I mean, you could have satoshis. I mean, like
Oh, yeah.
it
Is that a
You'll still be all right.
It breaks.
Okay.
It still breaks down. Like even though one Bitcoin is worth $34,000, you can still buy $1 of Bitcoin.
got you? So is there a way?
It fractionates.
Is there a way they could say,
10
okay,
decimals or something.
everybody turn your money in for this? Like when we get to, I want to talk about UBI. Maybe
It would
too.
be a massive shift
Yeah.
in wealth. And we saw
It
that
would be.
happen. We saw
Yeah.
people overnight with Ripple. I mean, kids, teenagers become millionaires,
Yeah.
dude, overnight. That's why the when's gonna moon? How
When
long till
moon.
Lambo? When moon?
Yeah.
When's it because fucking 18-year-old kids were fucking buying Lambos with cash, dude. I mean, it was
That's-
unbelievable.
That coin's actually being investigated by the
Ripple?
SEC right
They
now.
probably- it should
started
be.
last week. Yeah, because it's unlimited supply. They can increase their supply
Which,
whenever
yeah.
the fuck they want, basically.
Right.
So
Like the Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But it's still worth $5,000, but they keep printing them out.
keep printing King Griffey Jr. rookie cards.
Yeah.
Cocksucker.
I know. I know. Well, everybody does now.
Yeah, it doesn't mean shit. Let's
Oh,
go. to
did we
break.
get any? Did we get any
Yeah,
text?
that's what
Do Seth or Mike want to read any of the text that we had about people loving each other or anything?
No, there. We had a lot of people just kind of talking to each other and ignoring you guys. But Craig, before we go to break,
Mhm.
do you want to partake in our new favorite segment, fun with absolutely real pictures? Is what we're calling this one.
One of my favorite segments. Let's.
All
let's
right,
do
and
fun
you
with
guys
absolute
mentioned the
real
riots earlier. You got a little political, which was nice to see because that's kind of the theme for tonight's pictures. I had to dig way deep in the archives for these. Okay, so these are from some trips to Washington. You guys went to some key events, actually. Here's the War Room. I believe this is the Osama bin Laden. Osama bin Laden raid.
Yeah, it turned out it
Steve,
wasn't really
sometimes
him.
you don't smile for the camera. Sometimes people.
I knew he was going to
There's-
take the picture.
There's
so I had to
different
look at
kinds
it.
of pictures.
Greg,
Steve.
you're eyeing in on it, man.
Yeah.
You're in.
No,
Now,
Steve.
now, if you'll notice, I want to point out something to the great patriots out there.
Right.
You'll notice that the state of Kansas is X'd out on my shirt. I'm a true son.
Way to go, buddy.
Dude, Steve followed dress code, and Craig's like, fuck it. They're going to love me, and they did.
I posed for the
They did.
camera.
All right, so let's see what else we have here. I'm
Totally real camera or totally real pictures. This is fun. Oh no, Oh,
Dude,
not that
I'll tell you
one.
this.
Not that one.
I got me some Chick-fil-A.
that's the treat. That's the standard treatment for visiting the White House, apparently, right?
I really enjoy because I know the person you took out of there to see who you
There's-
replaced there.
You do?
Wasn't that our guy Integrity?
Yeah, that's actually
Oh,
Your,
yeah,
your
from
hand
that
used
parking
to
lot.
be. These are real
Same guy.
pictures. I don't know what
Same
you're
guy.
talking about, Steve. These are absolutely 100%
Oh yeah,
real
sorry.
pictures.
This is a real picture. I forgot.
And
he's all right.
you guys were on some talk shows back
No,
in the
what is
days.
this?
Here's
What
you on Rachel
politicians
Maddow.
eat their own poop. I do remember you going
I
to
didn't say
MSNBC and saying that.
that.
You did.
You're a big Rachel Maddow fan, aren't you?
Why does my head look so big on camera?
Because I did that in like 5 I mean,
Why does-
because it's an absolutely
yeah,
real
I'm just
picture.
saying. Why does the MSNBC feed make my face look like that?
Craig was on Tucker Carlson back in the
Oh shit!
I was.
Vote third party
That was
with
when
your
I was
dick
running
out.
for congressman. I figured I could.
day. You
get
look like
everybody
guy.
to
Who wore it better,
Remember
you or
when you had
Crenshaw?
Bell's palsy?
I do
That was
remember.
awesome.
There's a shot of me with Bell's palsy right there.
You look so cool,
Dude,
I think,
fucking,
yeah,
that
Tucker's
is straight
just-
out of
he's
very-
Escape from
drink.
New York.
He's
He couldn't
doing
even
his dumb
drink.
I couldn't do
face.
anything.
You got him doing his dumb face. That's great. Who
Both
wore
third
that
party
better,
did.
you or Crenshaw?
Dan
Crenshaw,
Crenshaw.
for
He's a
definitely me.
beast.
Yeah, he's
He is a man.
He's a man's man.
Steve,
What the hell?
the fuck, man.
Dude, I got the
Oh,
declaration.
no.
You got the fucking. You got the podium. You got
Yeah,
Nancy's
why?
podium.
Why does that look like a mogwai when it first comes out of its sack, its pod?
A
Like
Mogwai, isn't that Mexican for worm?
No, like when the gremlins
Or
when they come
Spanish.
out of their pods.
I thought it was.
Whenever they get
Mo-
water
I thought it was
on
Mogwai.
little what's his name? That's the name of the movie, isn't it? Gremlins. No, what's his name? What's the little-
I only know of Mogwai,
Gizmo?
the music group. That's the
You
only.
talking about Gizmo?
Gizmo. Thank you.
Gizmo.
God
I, was
damn
saying,
it.
I know
yeah.
of the
And
group.
remember
Mogwai.
when Gizmo gets wet and then those little weird things pop out of his back, and
The
then they
gremlins?
start to open up with their ears and they're all slimy.
Oh,
That's
that
what my
I mean, a
face looks
Mogwai
like.
does look like Gizmo. It's a
So what
thing.
is it? You can't get it wet, or you can't feed it after
No, that's
midnight.
not a real life
I don't
thing.
even remember.
This thing?
A mogwai is not a real thing.
Real life gremlin
Yeah,
rediscovered in
real
the
life
wild.
gremlin. It's not called a
what
mogwai.
happens when you pee
There's enough
same
water in
diff.
there. That's definitely.
So
it.
that's
a
your
bush
your
baby.
absolutely real picks of the week there, Craig.
Tarsier or
pygmy
pig-
tarsier.
I was gonna say it's either a bush baby or a tarsier.
You don't fucking know anything. Act like you know.
Well, I read it.
A tarsier. Oh, that's probably a tarsier. Did
Another
you read
tarsier.
that, Palo? Got any more? Okay. No
Good
problem.
job,
That's gonna
Seth.
be it.
That was a week's worth of stuff right there. That's
let's,
good. Is it over?
let's
I did that in like an hour today.
let's go to break.
Cool.
What do you guys want to talk about? Let's talk about aliens on the other side of break.
I do kind of want to. Yeah, let's do it. All right, see you guys after the break. Hey guys, love you.
Love you.
Love you.
Oh, hey.
It's Adam McChesney with Ms. Marketing. We specialize in lead generation, filling your pipeline, and taking care of your payments. Give us a call today.
Adam from Ms. Marketing took me from 10 leads to 300 leads in a month, and I became the strongest boy in the schoolyard.
He increased the revenue for my charter fishing business by 30% in 1 month. Ms. Marketing.
What was that Facebook algorithm? What was that Instagram? Ms. Marketing.
I know it's late, baby, but you got me thinking about my dream home.
Yeah, girl. You know, Bungeon Property Group doesn't just sell houses, they sell dreams. You know when the best time to talk about dreams is? In the middle of the night. That's why Bungeon Property Group is famously open 24 hours a day, so you can whisper sweet nothings in the middle of the night. Oh yeah. Tell me all your dreams of white picket fences, in-ground pools, and I'll find them for you. In an area with a low crime rate, general proximity to nice parks, walking distance to the grocery store, easy access to the highways. A place where you can offer a quality education to your children, all while feeling safe in your front yard while they play. Let me talk that dream house talk to you. Let me be your dream realtor. Adam Bondred.
Hey, DJ Shabba. Hey, ladies. I'm gonna smoke a little weed, boy. I wanna grow some trees, boy. When I grow all the weed that I smoke, and I blow all the trees that he grows, and I smoke all the weed that I grow, and I grow all the trees that he smokes. Well, I'm growing and I'm smoking, so I go see Bo. Puff, pass. And I smoke what I grow, yeah. Proactive solution. And I'm growing the hydro.
Bo knows hydro.
And I'm growing the hydro.
Proactive solutions.
Bono hydro. Bono hydro. Bono hydro. Bono how to grow. Bono how to grow. Proactive solution. Bono how to grow. Proactive solution.
Oh, hey. It's Adam McChesney.
I'm an outlaw, check it and see. Want a poster looking like me. Checking the swamp man for a pretty girl. Being an outlaw in an outlaw world.
Hey, I'm an outlaw, check it and see. Want a poster looking like me. Walking my hound dog, surfing that swamp. Catching crow that do the sweetly stomp. Everybody do the sweetly stomp.
It's a stomp, it's a wiggle, turn around, a little tickle. It's a stomp, move your feet, head on down to Sweet Leaf. Head on down to Sweet Leaf. Head on down to Sweet Leaf.
Dude, man, get on down to Sweet Leaf Emporium and do that Sweet Leaf stomp, man.
You take our insurance and are you cannabis friendly?
Yeah.
And they all said no. And then at that last phone call, that 8th phone call, I was like, do you know anybody that is? I'm desperate. I've called 7 other people. You're my 8th phone call.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm crying my eyes out. And this lady just felt bad for me and said, hold on, let me call you back in a few minutes. And they called me back and they said that they would take him, but under a certain amount of conditions. And the main condition was that if they felt that cannabis was not working for him, then they would take him from us and put him in and Child Protective Services, and then they would take the other 2 kids too.
Oh,
because they were both underage.
Then
and we would be charged with child endangerment.
So they'd go to federal prison.
Yeah, we would go to federal prison. So we said, bring it on.
Hey guys, it's me, Kippy the Crazy Koala Bear, and I'm here to tell you about James Carlton Insurance.
Kids, quiet down.
It's the best.
Kids, quiet down and listen to Kippy.
Grown-ups need insurance, and Uncle James can help.
Right on.
Grown-ups need insurance. He's got the best reviews on Yelp. Grown-ups need insurance if they want to protect their house.
Yes, sir.
Grown-ups need insurance if they want to properly bury a spouse.
That's a bit morbid.
Grown-ups need insurance if they drive a truck.
Okay.
Grown-ups need insurance just so they don't get...
Whoa, Kippy, you can't...
Well, I was just going to say get in trouble.
Okay, well, it
you
sounded
don't
like you
want
were
to
going
get
to
in trouble.
like you were going to say something else. James Carlton, State Farm Insurance. You can find him online at carltoninsurance.net, or you can call him at 314-961-4800.
Native hemp inside of me. 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 I got 1,800 milligrams going real good down my throat. When I wake up in the morning and I need a pick me up. Well, I grab my bottle of native hemp and I splash it on my tongue. Lap, lap, lap. Native hemp inside of me. Native hemp inside of me. Native hemp inside of me. Native hemp inside of me.
Native hemp extract available at HoosierSophisticate.com. Enter code HOSO, H-O-S-O at checkout for an additional 30% off.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
And there we are. Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second hour or whatever. We went on a half hour late. So whatever time it is, thanks for joining us here on the Hoosier Sophisticate Primetime Show.
Hey, penis faces, I'm in the back room now. How's your little pee-pees doing out there?
My pee-pee is doing
How are your little
quite
pee-pees
healthy.
doing out there? I'm in the back. I'm a little pee-pee. Who got little pee-pees? 2 guys out there got little pee-pees right there. Look up. Right there, little pee-pee guy. Oh, there he is.
Is that me?
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm coming back in.
Okay, come on. Anytime you want. Anytime.
I was unaware. To that.
Here's some interesting news for you, pals. Palos. When President Donald Trump signed the $2.3 trillion coronavirus relief and government funding bill into law in December, so began the 180-day countdown for U.S. intelligence agencies to tell Congress what they know about UFOs. No, really. This is from CNN.
What day did he sign that?
I don't know. It was in December. Last week of December.
Long December, and there's reason to believe maybe this year will be better than the last.
Love that tune. The Director of National Intelligence and the Secretary of Defense have little less than 6 months now to provide the Congressional Intelligence and Armed Services Committees with an unclassified report about unidentified aerial phenomena. It's a stipulation that was just tucked into the committee comment section of the Intelligence Authorization Act for fiscal year 2021, which was contained in the massive spending bill.
Hey,
That
real
re-
quick, why is Seth's face glowing like he's a goddamn alien right now? Look at him. He's a beam of light energy. What's wrong with his face? Look at it.
He's got a weird face.
Look at his
Got a
weird
weird
face
glowy
down
face.
there. And
Bio-
he's got
he's
white. He's
bioluminescent.
got the whitest face I've ever seen in my life. He looks like that guy Nick Pope up there. They both
Crow.
got white face. Okay.
Um,
Jenny said it looked like Walter White. She's like, "What's on your face? Are you trying to make me cream all the way from home?"
That's exactly what she said.
You trying to make me
I'm
cream
so
from
excited
35
to-
miles out? And I'm like, no, honey, believe me, this thing will find its way home. She doesn't know that tomorrow's coming. This is just leaving, and I got a Fu Manchu, a Fu Manchu, a Fu Manchu, a Fu Manchu.
Okay. Fu Man who?
Cool.
A Fu Manchu.
Okay. The report must contain detailed analyses of UFO data and intelligence collected by the Office of Naval Intelligence, the Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force, and the FBI, according to the Senate Intelligence Committee's directive. It should also describe in detail an interagency process for ensuring timely data collection and centralized analysis of all unidentified aerial phenomena reporting for the federal government, and designate an official responsible for that process. Finally, the report should identify any potential national security threats posed by UFOs and assess whether any of the nation's adversaries could be behind such activity. The committee said, like what? Like they're hiring alien mercenaries?
This thing's a fucking magnifying glass. That's disgusting.
The submitted report should be unclassified, the committee said, though it can contain a classified annex. Oh, well, isn't that some shit? A spokesperson for the Office of the Director of National Intelligence confirmed the news to the fact-checking website Snopes.
Oh, Snopes. That's
Okay,
not real.
That's great.
That's not real.
The Pentagon released 3 short videos in April of last year showing unidentified aerial phenomena clips that the U.S. Navy had previously confirmed were real. The videos, one from 2004, the other from 2015, show what appear to be unidentified flying objects rapidly moving while recorded by infrared cameras. 2 of the videos contain service members reacting in awe at how quickly the objects are moving. One voice speculates that it could be a drone. It's
Hey,
still unclear what the objects are, and there's no consensus on their origin.
What is the first thing you say to the aliens when they get here? What's the first thing you say to them? Dennison, you first. What's the first thing you say to them? They just got here. All right. Hello. What do you say to them?
Take me with you.
He's going with them. All right. What is your thing? What are you going to say?
How's your little pee-pee doing?
Is that what you're going to say to
No,
them? How's
that's
your
not
little
what I'm
pee-pee
gonna-
doing?
No, I'm going to say, hey, man, we've been waiting for you.
That's what you're going to say?
What the
Welcome
fuck? They're
home.
not going to talk
Welcome
to me.
home.
I'm just going to say, when we go contact them, I want to know what to say is what I think. I'm going to say, hey, guys, my name's Steve. I like to fucking party. All right? You know? Just kind of let
And
them
they
know.
say, "Have you ever tried any space coke?"
Yeah, and I'm like, no, but I'm willing to try. They're like, are you familiar with the term Glorpin? And I'm like, oh, that's space talk for guinea pig? Yep, that's me. Let me snoot some of that stuff right now. They're like, we've been looking for you for years. We needed someone with the DNA of someone to do space coke.
Aliens? Okay. All right.
And I'm like,
whoa! Let's reframe it a little bit.
reframe
Rather
it
than
just a bit.
what you're gonna say, they come down and they say,
snoot?
hey,
Yes.
you want to bump?
Yeah,
You're gonna do
obviously,
it.
yes.
You're just gonna do it.
glowing green dust that they're like, bump this off my tentacle.
I'm going to run it through one of my dance safe kits. I'm gonna test it.
What are you gonna test it for?
Well, you don't know.
Space coke kit? They got a
They
space
got a
coke
space
kit?
coke kit. Maybe.
I don't think they do.
Maybe. You would.
Listen, if the aliens have chosen me and they come down and I say, hi, my name's Steve, I like to party.
You
and
instantly
they go,
die.
oh, here's a deal. Yeah, I've done that before with stuff that I've sniffed out of another guy's freaking crotch of his thing here. I died for probably a minute, I'm
40,
sure.
47 minutes.
Yeah. So I get it. I'm okay with it. If that happens, then good. It's time to go.
Well, have you listened to Lieutenant Colonel Fravors interview with Joe Rogan on his podcast?
I don't believe I have.
Oh man, well he's one of them that was there whenever they took one of these videos, but he knows everybody else that's involved. And if any testimony is gonna make you believe that these are extraterrestrial, it's gonna be him. And he's not even like a UFO guy. Like he doesn't even believe in them, but the way he describes everything that happened that day and during some of the other ones, I mean, it's kind of undeniable that it's something, at least that we're incapable of at this time.
Anecdotally, I have seen shit move through space faster than any fucking craft, and stop on a dime and hover, and move back to another to a spot that we don't have. Maybe we do. Maybe we have crafts that do it, but it seemed to defy. It seemed to defy logic.
I don't think we would have the energy. I mean, the math. They had the math for it. They have the math to make warp drives. Like it mathematically makes sense, but the amount of energy that it would take in order to make the equation work is astronomical. I mean, literally astronomical. It would take multiple suns in some cases.
Well, that's what's crazy about like Bob Lazar, right? Like in the 80s, he says he's working in this top secret site, which is not Area 51. It's fairly close, but they have a site that's, what do they call that? It's just south of, hang on a second. I'm going to pull this up. But he said, hey, they're using this element to propel themselves. What did we decide it was? Ununpentium. Ununpentium was the name of this, and it was nowhere to be found on the periodic table. This was like in 1988 or 89. He's a laughing stock of the scientific community. And then fast forward 20 years, I think it was 2015, some Russian scientist found this element 115, which was ununpentium. And it had some subtle differences from how he explained it, but it checks out. And it's like, anybody lining up to kiss this dude's furry bag? Anybody? Anybody lining up? Because people owe him an apology. They owe him a little apology. You lined up?
Little lizard king.
Yeah, he had supposedly had a sample of it too. He had, and it was encased in some sort of, containment field, because if it came into contact with, I don't know.
Oh, this is funny. The worst grower in town in Missouri said, "Steve will say, 'Take me to your Peter.'" Hilarious. Why is everyone laughing in there? That's not funny. Space show, 100% down. Zid. Well, the jig is up, Steve Elgina. He's been hiding a UFO up his ass. Okay. I knew it, William Better. It's Eddie's brother. And Jenny said, "I'm being for real." Something about, I'm sure the sweet-ass goatee that she is just like totally creeping
She's
over
juiced.
right now.
She's juiced.
So something I really hope that comes out of, all that UFO stuff where they're, having to come forward with it, disclosure, is about Skinwalker Ranch. Like we were talking about aliens and spirits and alien spirit. What's the difference between the two? I mean, there's a lot of correlation in sightings of these things and the paranormal, and
so I thought we'd combo them out there at that
house.
house.
I think it's exciting. But that's like the only real government program on books. I know I'm really
like that is
monotone
really exciting.
right now. It's because I have had way too much Delta 8.
That's really exciting. Most exciting thing I've ever heard.
Let me try to take it up a little bit.
There you go.
But anyways, I mean, it's an exciting story, and
what's Skinwalker Ranch?
Yeah, Skinwalker Ranch.
What is it?
That's a ranch out in Utah that's been like just plagued with UFO sightings and paranormal activity with, trickster demons and orbs of light that cause like intense paranoia or fear or like happiness and like this weird shit. And it's been documented throughout time with Native Americans and, all these ranch owners. The government they have a program where they went out and studied it for like a decade or 15 years. I forget the name of the billionaire that owned a company that looked into it, but anyways, they researched and never could get any definitive proof, but shit was happening like the whole
shit
time.
was going down.
So, but they couldn't get anything.
It's like Adam Levine or whatever. No, Adam
Levine.
That guy
from Maroon 5.
Maroon 5, the guy who does with Queen now.
Adam Lambert.
Lambert. What he says? What do you want from me?
Is that?
what do you want from me? You know, like, what do the aliens want from us? Are they already here? And did you see the thing about the underwater aliens that they're going to disclose? That there's an aquatic
The USO.
alien life force that look up the aquatic aliens, and they have lived underneath the earth, and that's what this disclosure is actually about. These underwater aliens, bud.
Well,
okay.
Considering we've only mapped like 3 to 5% of the ocean, I mean.
Hey, don't say you still love me. It's okay. And that hurt. Yeah, it was supposed to hurt, bud. And it was a whole mess of people said it, not me. I thought your plants looked great. I'm just saying what everybody in St. Louis is saying about people don't grow the best weed. I don't know. It's not me saying it. I'm here. I'm a guy. I'm here, a guy. Do you think the idea of aliens conflicts with some modern religions and the systems based on them loosely or intrinsically?
Well, you know what? Read
the
the book
alien
of
better,
Thomas, bud. Read the book of Thomas.
The alien
all right?
better come down looking brown hair, blue eyes.
Well, naturally,
nice
yeah. Otherwise,
beard.
bomb that fucker.
Okay, yeah, exactly. You better have a nice white robe on.
The Skinwalker
Clean.
Ranch,
It
also
better be
known as
clean.
Sherman Ranch, is a property located on approximately 512 acres southeast of Ballard, Utah, that is reputed to be the site of paranormal and UFO-related activities. Its name is taken from the Skinwalker of Navajo legend concerning the vengeful shaman.
Don't want to go there. I don't want to go to the vengeful shaman. I really don't.
There's a lot of
don't.
trickster demons
I
there.
don't want to do that unless I'm well versed before. Like, I'll practice here at that house, kind of learn some tricks too, and then I'll go into the space with the trickster demons at that point.
No, thank you. Those are the demons from, like, Poltergeist. Look up Bigelow. I know it was something Bigelow.
Deuce Bigelow, Major Gigolo.
Well, that's
Male
how I
Gigolo?
remembered.
Major Gigolo,
but he owned
Major
some-
Payne, and Deuce Bigelow mixed together.
He was an aerospace billionaire, and he bought the ranch. And
Robert Thomas Bigelow
yeah, and
owns
then
the
he was-
hotel chain Budget Suites of America.
Oh, those are nice.
He
dude.
was
Budgets
friends
are
with
nice.
Senator Harry Reid from Illinois, and Senator Harry Reid's always been interested in UFOs. So then they started a secret government program to study UFOs, and they've been out there. I think it was in the early 2000s, maybe.
Does anything happen with disclosure? Do we find world peace? 'Cause wasn't
there's
it
no-
Reagan or Nixon that had that speech?
Man-
It's like the only thing that can make the America great again is if we find aliens, and we only have a force that we can all fight against across the whole world. Remember that deal?
I do.
We need to make humanity great again by having a common goal. Because,
Yeah.
Before it was exploration. It's always going to be exploration because we're just explorers, But we've ran out of space to explore, and we're getting crowded. And now we're pointing fingers at each other and, like, fighting over resources. And things are getting shitty fucking everywhere you look.
Craig went to the Capitol, stole the Declaration of
Yeah, I
Independence.
mean,
It's
Craig lost his mind.
He lost his damn
Lost
mind.
it.
They tried to shut our show down. It's nuts.
Yeah, killing the power. So, I don't know, man. Hopefully we can figure out how to live here, but also how can we expand out there?
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. I thought Mars and the moon were just. I was like, no, you can't live there or whatever. We're just not built for it. But there's there's ways to kind of make bases there, and then
Everyone knows the moon is just a satellite. It's just a space base.
Dude, the moon is
Everybody
perfect,
knows that.
man. That couldn't have been worked out any better for us, for launching out into interstellar space. Because that's the trick. Is it takes a lot of fuel to get out of Earth's gravity.
That's why we got to come up with a
can launch
space
off there,
elevator.
man.
We got to get a space elevator from Earth to the moon.
Okay.
We can do it with spider silk. I watched this whole
with ya.
thing.
I'm
It's
with
fucking
ya.
amazing.
Goats can
Spider
make it.
silk is
They can.
fascinating.
Goats can make it.
Goats can make spider silk.
In huge amounts.
They figured out how.
Were they like what spiders fucking
They
goats?
milk
Or?
'em.
Yeah, they did
Well,
that.
use your imagination there, big boy.
I mean, I am.
Use your imagination.
It's got me
Yeah.
all
CRISPR.
Is anyone else convinced the government will fake an alien invasion? No, actually, I wasn't concerned about that. Thank you
Until
for
now.
bringing that up on my fucking radar, Belinda.
The once secret owner of the purported Utah UFO hotspot Skinwalker Ranch has stepped forward, describing a bevy of sensors and cameras he's installed on the site for the collection of evidence related to anomalous phenomena, including UAP or unidentified aerial phenomena. In 2016, phenomena. 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 In 2016, Brandon Fugel, 46, a Utah real estate tycoon, bought the 512-acre property from its former owner, aerospace billionaire Robert Bigelow, who also sought out anomalous phenomena on the site. Officially owned by the Adamantium Real
What?
Estate.
Shut up.
Fugel's
Adamantium like Wolverine.
Wolverine,
Shut
bud.
up. Shut up.
Fugel's ownership remained secret until a Tuesday interview with Vice in which Fugel described his plans for the property and its alleged mysteries while declining to disclose how much he paid Bigelow for the property. Science and discovery are what drive me. It's not money. It's not that I'm obsessed with UFOs or little green men or cattle mutilations or shape-shifting demonic entities. I have no idea
I'm
if
not
aliens
obsessed with any of
exist.
those.
I have no idea if aliens exist. You'd have to ask them, Fugel told Vice.
Yeah, let me name every
This sounds
single
like,
one
this
that
sounds like
freaks
a
me
this sounds
out.
like an ad for DMT. You'll have to ask them.
That's all this sounds like.
That's
That's
all-
what I'm saying.
Maybe DMT's just leaking out.
Yeah, like, okay, we're just gonna.
That's
I'll
the
let you
deal.
know.
It's just in the air.
Yeah,
It's just, everybody's just
You might see some
inhaling
UFOs.
vaporized yeah, might happen.
Just putting it out there.
Fugel has installed sensors and cameras on the ranch and has so far collected unreleased footage of anomalous aerial phenomena, in addition to evidence of anomalous injuries and transient EMF, unexplained electrical phenomena. This, in addition to the numerous UFO sightings and previous data collected at Skinwalker Ranch by Bigelow, was not provided to Fugel as part of the purchase. So Bigelow's holding all the information? Is that what I'm understanding?
Well, I think it's because he was tied in with the government. I forgot what the name of the program was. It was NAP or something.
I remember Harry Reid was a part of it.
Yeah, you might be able to type Harry Reid and Robert Bigelow together and find it. But yeah, it's probably all under wraps because the government was involved and they really like to be tight-lipped about that kind of stuff. So.
Did you not find the thing about the aquatic aliens?
Yeah, I pulled it up. I just wasn't that into it.
Are you just talking about like USOs?
Actually, what it pulled up was just a lot of shit that we don't know about, invasive and around it.
This is coming.
Okay. Well, I'll
Oh,
find
you dirty little pervert.
it. Okay. So let's see here. Glowing auras and black money. The Pentagon's mysterious UFO program. Oh, you're gonna put it behind a paywall, are you? Oh, kiss my ass. Sorry,
your
buds.
information.
Sorry, buds.
I'll make it up.
I'm not paying them for it. I will make it up on the on the fly. Here we go. HuffPost. Senator Harry Reid confirms.
There you go.
The U.S. government has been hiding key details about UFOs for years. Why the federal government all these years has covered up, put brake pads on everything, stopped it. I think it's very, very bad for our country, Reid said in the new documentary, The Phenomenon, from director James Fox. Are you saying that there's some evidence that still hasn't seen the light of day? I'm saying most of it hasn't seen the light of day, Reid replied. The film examines the history of UFO sightings in the United States and abroad, including new details about the military-confirmed encounters off the coast involving U.S. Navy pilots. It also details a 1967 report in which an object appeared over a U.S. missile base at the same time 10 missiles became inoperative. If they'd been called upon by the president to launch, they couldn't have done it, Reid said in the film. Jesus Christ. They take him out of a microwave? What the fuck's the matter with Harry Reid?
That's a wax
He's 100.
sculpture that's in a
Fuck.
hot
Looks like
building.
one of the people from the day after when they look at the fucking nuke going on. Reid, who was among the lawmakers behind a classified but since closed U.S. government UFO program, has become increasingly outspoken.
UFO?
UFO. It's a whole
That'd
thing.
be cool.
Has become increasingly outspoken about the
Globetrotter
phenomena since
Oh,
leaving
yeah.
office. However, he stopped short of confirming evidence of otherworldly activity, writing in August on Twitter that he wants the issue studied and we must stick to science, not fairy tales about little green men. You know,
Why do they say that?
why do they gotta say it? Why
I
you
guess
gotta?
it's so
You know, it's dumb.
condescending.
It's just dumb. Talking down to us. He repeated the point of view in the film. Nobody has to agree why it's there, but should we at least be spending some money to study all these phenomena? I think the answer is yes. UFO expert Lee Spiegel, a former HuffPost reporter, served as a co-writer and co-producer on whatever. Whether you're a UFO believer or debunker, those in between or still undecided, it's important to present accurate information that potentially affects the national security of all nations and the safety of all citizens of our planet. I watched this deal where when Nixon was in office, well, I think Truman, I can't remember if Truman was the first one that was briefed on UFOs. I remember some shit went down, and then when Nixon took office, apparently there was one of our military bases in Florida had an alien in it. Nixon was buddies with Jackie Gleason. He goes, they're all hammered up, as they should be, and he's like, "Come on, we're going for a ride." Nixon fucking grabs Jackie Gleason, puts him in the car, drives down, fucking pull up to this base, like guns drawn on this car, and then all of a sudden they see who it is. Like, oh fuck, it's It's the president. Got to let him in. Apparently, Nixon walks Gleason in there, shows him this fucking alien that it's sitting there. Gleason's wife says Gleason doesn't talk for like 2 weeks after that. He's fucked up. Like Nixon has fucking blown his fucking mind hole open.
That's awesome.
It's good to know people, man. It's good to know people in high places. I don't know. I'm into it.
I think a lot of that especially the interview with Lieutenant Fravor, because he doesn't. I mean, he's 100% accurate about everything he says. I think it substantiates all the other testimony that you get in like the Disclosure Project or Project Blue Book. Those were the things that went in front of Congress. They had all these testimonies from former generals and military members or doctors or scientists or whatever, and they gave testimony asking for the government to do what they're now forced to do, supposedly, and disclose the information that they have. But I mean, there's so many stories. It might take 3. Just these astronauts talking about seeing things or, just these weird experiences that they've had, that,
oh man, I can't wait.
Who knows?
We're going to go check it out. We're going to do it at the end of February. I'm going to rent out that house. Maybe I'll get that done tomorrow. We'll figure that out where we can go have some fun, contact aliens, hang out with each other out in the woods, get weird, see what this whole fucking mystery is about, man. Try to get some sort of answers to some of the questions, because there's always more questions. There's always more answers. Everyone is invited, even you, Big V. If Steve's dick sock gets us attacked by aliens, I'm gonna be pissed.
What is that?
If Steve's dick sock gets us attacked by aliens. I saw an alien at Trader Joe's. His hair was perfect.
Yep.
I will go down fighting or up fighting. Okay. I see what she did there. I see what she did there. Beat me up, Scotty. I want to get weird with you freaks. This is great. Should I get out the guitar and ready for the deal?
Sure. Did you have anything else, Seth?
Oh, I'm heated over here. We didn't get a chance to play my intro.
Let's do it.
I'm kind of mad about
Do it right
that.
now.
No, we don't have to do it.
Let's play it as an outro, bud.
We'll play it as an outro, but first, before we go any further, Dennison, I'm curious, have you looked into this Rh negative blood type thing much with the aliens? That's kind of weird, isn't it?
It is really weird. I'm not educated enough really to speak on it, but
well, hold on.
Unfortunately, I do not have the alien marker in me.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull this up. If an ad plays, I'm sorry, but yeah, it says throughout mankind's history, the accounts of visitations from a higher power, extraterrestrial beings, or mysterious forces have been immortalized and passed down through generations and songs. Blah 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 blah. But basically, what this boils down to is they believe that this blood type comes directly from aliens, and it increases people's chances of being abducted, because people throughout the world will have abduction stories. These people don't know each other, they've never met, and they have these identical stories, as if all these people got together in a room, were like, hey, let's make up this story. And that's kind of fucking weird to begin with. And then you look at it, and a large percentage of this population have this type of blood. So
yep,
I like it.
That is
in my
something
anecdote
to think about.
I don't have that, and I've never seen a UFO or been abducted. So
there's
in
gotta
the
be some
pudding.
truth there.
Have you been
Proof's in
wearing?
the pudding.
Have you looked into the thought screen
You might have been
helmet?
wearing a thought screen helmet.
Yeah,
That's probably the problem.
That's a great product.
It's not a product.
No, it's not a product for
It's
sale.
not a product for sale. It is a product.
You can. I'll hook you up, bro. I got a whole website you got to check out. You're gonna love this.
All right,
No,
I
you
appreciate
watched the show last week.
I
right?
saw pictures of it. It looked like a really nice leather skull cap.
All right. Well, now we'll play the rabbit hole.
And real quick,
Right?
I do have one last thing to kind of tie back into the parlor, the social media censoring speech, shutting down platforms. It's something that we're threatened with, not just us. Nate on Cannabis, anybody that talks about weed regularly, Casey Weed Blog, it's coming. Top Shelf guys. It's something that we all deal with. Levon, all of us. We talk about about cannabis on these platforms, and we're not selling it. We're just trying to educate on it.
Oh, no,
you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is we're selling low THC cannabis. It's legal, totally legal. Cannabis sativa L, right?
All right, we're gonna throw this.
However, real quick, I just saw today that with no explanation other than repeatedly going against our community standards, Facebook has blocked Ron Paul from managing his page.
I meant to ask you if you wanted to talk about that.
Never
tonight.
have we
That is
received
so weird.
notice of violating community standards in the past, and nowhere is the offending post identified. That sounds reasonable to me because I have been banned 3 separate times where I was given no. I wasn't even shown what it was that I posted that went against community standards. They were just like, oh, hey, and there's no appeal process. So it's like, oh, okay.
You think the aliens have RSO? I don't know. I better hold them fucking accountable.
They got more RSO than every dispensary in Missouri combined.
Or at least just as much. Never
Is that
been
the-
flagged, never been kissed either. Bud.
Is that the end of the hole?
Yeah.
Are we?
You can take
okay.
us out of the rabbit hole. We like movies. So do we. We like internet. So do you. Streaming mix of the week. It's the streaming mix of the week. It's the streaming mix of the week. We like the internet too. We like the internet too.
We like the internet too.
What are you watching this week, Steve-O?
Want to know for me, guys?
I'd like to know.
I was watching this one thing. I've been kind of flipping through a bunch of stuff. I did rewatch the movie Frailty. But you haven't seen the movie Frailty? It's
been a
Matthew
long time.
McConaughey. It's a freaky movie.
Been
It's
a long
kind of
time.
good. But I did start watching, and I need to finish it probably tonight. But I'm happy with the first half of it. It's called My Blind Brother.
Okay.
And it's Adam Scott, Nick Kroll, and Jenny Slate.
Adam Scott's a funny fella. Hey,
Oh,
Seth,
Adam
do me a
Scott
favor and
plays a blind guy, but he's like a Olympic champion.
give me a little bit more in the mics there, Seth.
He's an Olympic champion, and he.
Sorry, that guitar was a little.
No
hot,
sweat,
baby.
yep.
Yeah, he's like an Olympic champion type deal, where he like swim. No, he does like charity things, where he's like, I'm gonna swim or bike or something, and his brother Nick Kroll has to like wear a bracelet and keep him out of the way of trees and shit. So the whole town is like, go, 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 and no one pays any attention to him. He's like just like a glorified sight dog is what they call him. So it's like he meets her. Her boyfriend like died right after she broke up with him. She's like, I don't want to see you, and he like ran out into the street and got hit by a bus. So she's going through all that shit, and it's like this weird love triangle. It's funny, had me laughing. I'm only about 45 minutes of the way through it, but it had me laughing so far. That's on Amazon Prime. And I watched my other show, Breaking Bad.
You started it.
I started it.
I'm the one who knocks.
I haven't seen it.
For real?
I've only seen season 1.
Oh, buddy.
Well, I
It
thought I had
doesn't
a-
get great until season 3.
I thought I had a warrant out for my arrest when I was first watching it, and it's like real intense. I thought the police were gonna break down my door every
Yeah,
fucking episode.
I believe
So
that.
I was like, nah, I'm good on this
Yeah.
this stuff. I gotta have a
get that.
clean record. Now I'm
I'll have to
clean.
try again, yeah.
I think at least I don't have it hanging over me. Like,
Sure.
That's pretty good.
Well,
I'll check it out. A lot of people seem to really enjoy it. Really enjoy it.
Dennison, have you watched
Dennison's
anything?
like, it's great.
I was
It's the
trying to
best.
think. My wife and I were watching a French
Porno?
no, it was called Lupid or Lupus or not Lupus. Probably
Lupus,
not.
it's called Lupus?
Lupid, I think.
Cool.
I don't know, but it was this guy whose father stole Marie Antoinette's necklace and supposedly it was taken apart and went all these places. And I don't know. It's
Ooh,
It's
Guadalupe?
a French show, and it's actually
Really?
pretty good.
Is it
It's
a
dubbed
show?
over. Yeah, it's a show. It's on Netflix. Here, I could look it up.
I got you.
He's got it
I got
right
you,
here, and it's called
Lupin.
Marie Antoinette. Lupin? It's called Lupin.
Affair of the Diamond.
Lupine.
Lupine? Oh yeah, French.
Lupin. Come on, guy.
God, I'm an idiot.
Jeez, man.
Is Lupin
Come on.
based on a true story?
Lupin?
Is Lupin based on a true story and was Marie Antoinette's
No,
necklace
it's probably
stolen in
Lupin. I have
real
no
life?
idea.
Well, that's cool. I'm
But
into that.
it's pretty interesting.
Subtitled
so,
or
like,
dubbed?
subtitled, but in a good way. I didn't know it was subtitled for a while, and that kind of blew my mind. I'm assuming because they're both Indo-European languages, and maybe the mouth's moving similarly or something. But yeah, it was.
So it's
really well
it's
done.
not in English.
No, their mouths are moving in French,
But it's dubbed in
The
English.
words
Yeah.
are English.
Oh, okay.
And
in
it's
a good
still
way.
subtitled as well, right?
It's subtitled
Yeah.
as well if you want.
Dude,
I mean,
I've gotten to where
it's
that's
not
one thing
necessary.
that Netflix and all the streaming services like. I love having subtitles on.
Oh,
with everything.
yeah,
it's amazing
buddy.
how much is lost in dialogue without subtitles.
Yeah, I'm
you
always
know?
like, I read this the other day.
we watched a show, Dairy Girls. It was like from
The Irish
Yeah,
Girls. Yes,
I have no idea what they're saying unless
Dude,
I have the
you have to
subtitles
have
on.
it. It's tough to understand.
Yeah,
for sure.
that was a good one.
Lupin.
Lupin
On
is
Netflix.
Dennison's pick. How about you in there, Mikey?
Mike, did you have a?
Mike, did you stream
pick?
anything?
He said no, nothing this week.
Besides a little streamy out of your pee-pee in your pants.
Something like that.
Streamy out of the pee-pee. Seth, you?
Yes, Steve, I told you mine. You're going to be excited about this. It combines St. Louis and skateboarding. So this is on Vice, or if you find the show somewhere else, it's called Abandoned. It's with Rick McCrank, which I love that fucking name. It's like I'd love to have a Rick McCrank,
man,
but no, he's
his
a
buddies call him Yank.
He's a professional skateboarder. He's really, really good. He skates for Girl. I skated Girl boards. I had a McCrank deck, which is even more fun to say.
Chicken?
So he goes to all these different places around the world that have been abandoned. He goes to like a Six Flags in New Orleans. He skates a mall that's abandoned in Ohio and all kinds of cool shit. Well, in this episode, Wednesday at midnight, he goes to St. Louis. He comes to St. Louis, you know.
Skate
And,
Liborium or what?
He skates the church.
Nice.
He does. He talks to some of the local skaters. He goes around, and this episode's about St. Louis schools specifically.
Skanks.
It's about skanks.
Sweet, I'm in it. I'm
St.
cool
Louis
too.
skanks, but it's about St. Louis schools. So he goes around to a lot of abandoned schools.
Does he go to Cleveland?
Because
that shit's wild.
I don't know. I don't remember, but he does skate the church. He talks to a lot of local people, and it's a very great episode. So,
is it called Abandoned?
It's called Abandoned. It's with Rick
Belinda
McCrank.
here says it's really good. The church in STL, dude. Skate Liborium
Nice.
is a neat little deal that they.
I
got
might
set
have
up
to
there.
skate it someday if I ever
drop in on the vert, bro.
I'm not a vert skater.
Yeah,
I'm a rat, dude.
Well, I mean, do they have? I mean,
I'm a street
they
rat.
have- I mean, I'm sure they have.
They got some nice
yeah.
little flat bar rails,
Yeah,
shit like
sure.
that. I'd get down on that.
Quarter pipes and shit.
Yeah, I was a heel flip over a trash can
Kinda
before
guy.
the cops show
Yeah.
up kind of guy.
Yeah, check out our Instagram. You can see Seth really
Oh my
mixing
God.
it up on there.
I had a pair of trucks with no bushings in them.
You want to try that later after the show?
Yeah, I do. No,
Okay.
I owe you a sesh.
Yes, you
Steve.
do.
I owe you a
Yes,
sesh.
you
Don't
do.
worry about that. I got you, boo.
I like
I'll
Skank
get my
Lewis.
Rick McCrank deck.
We're gonna shoot our own documentary. It's called Skank Lewis.
All right,
We're
and
gonna
that's
go.
it.
We're gonna go out
Abandoned.
on Skanksgiving, and
be
we're gonna
good.
find out all the skanks in St. Louis.
Let's find all the skanks. That doesn't sound like a good idea.
That sounds.
We do it.
Well, I'm talking
I don't
about.
know,
I'm
man.
talking about people that dance to ska music, skanking.
Oh,
What are
yeah.
you talking about?
That's what I was
I
talking
think
about, too.
just-
You'd be a great little skank.
Oh,
You'd
buddy,
be
I
a
was
good
born to
little.
be
You
a
were born to
skank.
skank.
I was
You
born-
were born to skank. Little fucking. Get
Little
the
skanky
boss
dude.
tones on. You're just
Little
skanking
skanky
about,
dude.
bud.
Let's give it a skank.
My pick's boring this week because I've been.
Cool. Well, that was it, guys. Good
I've been
show.
trying
this w-
to watch. I'm trying to finish up The Boys. It's so good. It's so good. Homelander has the most punchable face in the.
And what are you gonna do? Punch him?
What are you gonna do to fucking Homelander?
You gonna punch him?
He's gonna roast your eyeballs out
Yeah.
with his fucking lasers. What are you gonna do?
Did you see the scene where he's like imagining what he would do to people?
Maybe not yet. Maybe not yet. But I'm about halfway through season 2. It's really good. And then we talked about Hangar 1. If you guys want to get into some UFO shit, it's pretty cool. It's pretty good. It's on
You wanna
it's
see-
on
you wanna
Netflix.
see
Is that an
something
older
awesome?
one? Is that older?
I
feel
think
like I've
I think
seen
maybe last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well,
no,
it
it's
wouldn't
not
yet.
super it's not super old. And it's pretty good. Each episode kind of focuses on a different spot, but there's some pretty good UFO information out of like the Boot Heel area, and then also around Whiteman Air Force Base. Missouri's pretty well represented in it for sure. So that's pretty cool. And then as far as like the stream thing that I'm into, I know sometimes we say we'll talk about a podcast, but I'm really digging right now on the podcast with Duncan Trussell and Jason Lube. It was recorded. It was recorded just before Christmas, so it's after seeing kind of everything that's shaken out with the Capitol and the conversation that they were having. it's pretty interesting to kind of, to see how it's all playing out. Jason Louv has been he talks a lot about magic and
he's great.
He's really good. He is this subject of my favorite Midnight Gospel episode, which is where they go to the prison planet and they have to keep going through the Bardo until they learn their lesson in death. And that is one of the coolest representations of the Bardo I've ever seen artistically. It's super fucking neat. And he's got this really interesting. What the fuck is that? Who's that?
It's got my next Netflix. I'm just gonna give a little thing.
Give him a little taste on it. Yeah, no, so that's it. If you guys want a good podcast to listen to, Duncan Trussell, Jason Louv, Louv. He's a pretty fascinating cat. They have a pretty good conversation. Talk about, there's been, I think, 40,000 people move from L.A. since everything went down with COVID. 40,000. And they're talking about how, it is crazy how many walking down the street, fear of stepping on needles and shit. Like it is.
Yeah,
LA,
one of them was
LA
saying there's
fucking,
guys setting up tents on the street outside the front of his house, just living there. So whenever he had to walk out,
yeah, you
somebody
gotta
on
walk
Rogan.
through Tent City.
Yeah,
you gotta walk through Tent City.
Yeah.
It's wild.
This is from a show called Aliens and Agenda 21. This is about the guy you
That guy looks smart as fuck though. Like that's the type of dude that's got just outrageous knowledge packed in his fucking little head.
This is a hard watch. I need to go back to it, but it's Agenda 21 and Aliens. The Agenda 21 and the Agenda 30 things are pretty interesting shit if you get into them. It's not like hiding or anything. It's just, it sounds really good. The ideas that the world, no, not the World Health, the United Nations, I guess, are putting out with this Agenda 21. Agenda 21, I think, is about over. Or it's happening, this year, and then Agenda 30 is for the year 2030, and there's like 17 tenets to it, and it's a circle of all these different colors, and it's a pretty wild when you start getting into the Agenda 21, Agenda 30.
There's the Earth Summit, Agenda 21, non-binding action plan of the United Nations with regard to sustainable development.
It sounds good, but I could see him be like, yeah, part of it is getting rid of most of the people.
Well, you know what's crazy is I think it was only like a couple years ago that the I forgot what it's called, but there's like a worldwide summit every year of the richest people in the world that go to
Bilderberg,
wherever. Not that Bilderberg. No, I'll think of it on my way home probably, but they had a large meeting a couple years ago, and like it's kind of funny, like everything is going on, and now they're calling for I forget what they call their agenda now, but it's like doing the economy different.
Yeah.
And they've got a term for it. I forget. But
it's what's been being coined and thrown around now is the Great Reset.
Yeah. Thank you.
Is that it?
Yep. That's it.
The Great Reset. If you get into any of that stuff, it's talking about the Great Reset.
Hey, real quick, Casey Weedblog says the album for Fantastic Plan. Is he talking about the album cover? Because I do want to give a shout out because that's one of the most underrated fucking albums in the world. And I introduced you, Craig, to that album.
Yeah, and
that was fantastic.
Also, I think maybe why he was asking about failure is because the title of the show is "Say Hello to the Rugs Topography."
Very few people know that that's the original version.
I
and
knew
it's
it as
the
a
best
Perfect
version.
Circle song, but yeah, and then you turned me on to failure.
It totally sounds like something Maynard would fucking come up with. But yeah, hey, I have one more pick for you.
Okay, give it to me.
I took some of this LSD stuff and watched the other night. I watched.
Oh my god!
I watched the 1974 classic Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla on Comet. Fucking laughed my dick off. I recommend everybody try that. Just watching people run away from this blatantly fake monster, and I was doing my own sound effects and just rolling. And it was great. I was like, oh man, everybody should try this. But like in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, that blatantly fake stupid monster, it's like that. The same fucking costume and everything, and the fake tanks and shit. I'm like, they didn't like cheese it up for Pee-wee.
Oh, when they're actually going through those.
That's exactly what the actual movie's like. And I just laughed, and it was great.
See no evil, don't you speak no evil.
Twisted Sister.
Yeah,
You're gonna burn in hell.
Yeah, that was great.
Large Marge. You scared the shit out of me.
Large
man.
Marge will
Remember
get you.
that?
Oh, dude, I was just talking about that with somebody the other day. The scariest scene in any fucking movie ever when I was a kid. No, it doesn't matter. No horror movie. It was that scene with the fucking clowns where they take the bike to hell.
Oh, yeah.
That shit. But I couldn't stop
The
watching. I
doctor,
watched it
he
3
pulls
times in a
down
row.
his mask and it's the clown
Francis.
face.
No, Francis
No.
is the devil.
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah.
oh god, it's like Francis wanted that bike so bad. Why would he do that?
Well, we know who has the bike.
Oh, friend of the show,
George Christie.
George Christie. All right,
Guys, we did it.
I'm going away. Bye.
We did it. We're figuring this stuff out. We got our studio built in Festus. Thank you, Dennison, for joining us tonight, buddy. It's been a blast.
Sleepy over here.
It's been
You got a long ways to go,
It
bud.
was the funnest time I've had in a long time with you guys.
I'll be sure to do this all the time.
We got a little trip coming up. Hopefully that will be a real fun time to get everybody together and kind of just get weird with each other. It's kind of what we do here. We want to raise the vibrational energy of everyone around us. That's how we can do it, by getting together. All of our sponsors who make it happen: Native Hemp, Sweet Leaf. This is the Native Hemp guy right here. So if you don't like him,
Tell him right
fuck
now.
you.
Tell him
Oh,
right
yeah,
now.
man. Yeah, put it on the line. He really does not. He
Hell
doesn't care
no.
at all. Sweet Leaf Emporium, come here and see us in Festus. We're really trying to do something weird here. We're growing every day. You never know what the mad scientist has in store for us. We got Ms. Marketing. They'll help your business. You want more leads? They're the people for you. You want your house sold at 3 in the morning? Well, guess what? Adam Bundren's the guy who's going to do
He's
it.
gonna do
Bundren
it.
Property Group.
gonna do it.
We also have the Spanish Society Outreach. They're helping do good things in the neighborhood every chance they get. And Bo at Sweet Leaf Emporium.
At Bo at Grow Active Solutions.
Oh, yeah, Sweet Leaf Emporium. You can come talk to me, and then we'll go talk to Bo together as friends.
Dude,
as new
I'm
friends.
loving your evil twin look. I just
It's
gotta
my
tell
favorite.
you.
It's my favorite thing
Oh,
of all time. I
man.
did it in the mirror, and I'm like, but Bo from Grow Active Solutions. I'm growing my first
You
round.
got a good bean on you, man. You
for
got a
legal-
good head on you. That's
Oh, it's round.
that's a good looking dome.
It's round.
It's a good looking dome.
I
bud.
had this Greek uncle who would always go like this, Uncle Alex.
He would shape your head as you
and
were a
he'd
kid.
shape my
while it
head
was
as
soft.
a kid.
Good
yes.
for him.
He would always do it. He's like, he's going to have a perfect
He's
kid
going
one
to
day.
perfect
Like that
kid.
Greek. He's going to have a perfect kid one day. Okay. Talks like the goat.
Why,
bro.
why does your Greek uncle talk like Adam Sandler's goat?
So he did that. So that's why I got such a nice little noggin.
I will just be sitting here watching my cock get
It's
smaller,
smaller,
but
okay.
at least his head is shaped nicely.
That's my cock. It's this kid's head. It was my uncle. It's not weird.
Not funny.
Here's the deal. I am growing my first legal garden at home, my first 6 plants, and I'm having so much fun getting to know Dennison, leaning on him for help, getting to know Kush Coach, and having Bo and Grow Active Solutions has changed the game for me. I can't wait to start the next ones. We were talking about trading beans, maybe like woo,
Bean trades,
No,
hey, they're
no, we can't
souvenirs.
do that.
As
Yeah,
long- as long as
souvenirs,
they're- as long as they're
I'm not gonna
souvenirs.
grow 'em.
You gotta say only
Idiot.
only share your souvenirs.
I'm
with
an
friends.
idiot. Sorry.
That's all.
Share your beans with your friends. Maybe a
yeah.
bean falls on the floor and starts growing, because that's what happens with weed. I don't know if you guys know that. You can throw it in a ditch and it'll go grow outside. We'll do it. So we got a lot coming up with that. Stay tuned. We're here every day of the week except Saturday and Sunday.
Hoss Johnson asked Dennison, can you do 80 and thousands of plants ago, our forefathers? I think that's an Abe
Yeah.
Lincoln reference.
Yeah, I get that a lot. Thank you, Haas. I'm glad that you tuned in. I was
He's what-
hoping that nobody out there knew me from.
No, you look like Abe Lincoln would have looked like when he was 8. Like you're 8.
Thank you. That makes me feel better.
No, he was born just looking 45 and just kept getting
Well,
older.
one thing we
Not
do
you,
have,
Lincoln.
one thing we do share in common is when we both shave our face, we both look like idiots. So.
Oh,
no,
you're
I don't
so
believe
cute,
that to be
dude.
Oh my
true.
God! Have you ever seen a picture of either
Yeah,
one of us
you
without a
did.
beard on?
You did. You
Okay.
said you didn't have a beard in your pictures when you were visiting all those places.
I've seen
Oh,
you.
yeah,
I've,
that's true. I did have shave.
And
looked
I
like a
touched myself to them. So I mean,
I've seen
weird.
your shorn
Thank you.
scrotum. So
Yeah,
there's two.
that one's
there's
bald.
2 things we've seen shaved. Pal,
Guys, we did it.
I guess.
Congratulations.
What do we say to fucking end this thing, bud?
We do.
I
blew him out.
Blew him out.
Guys, we love you.
Good
And
enough.
we love you. And
Cowabunga.